Chapter 3049. Thinking about it, it made sense. The ruins were split open by a peerless powerhouse, so there must be shocking sword intent and sword Dao secrets left on it. Lin Xian was also a swordsman, so he must have had a fortuitous encounter on it. Thinking of this, the first elder became even more excited. I wonder if this kid can defeat Hayamo? Black Dragon Sky Diagram. Hayamo roared again, his hair dancing wildly like a peerless demon king. The black halberd in his hand rose into the air and merged into the void. Not only that, Hayamo opened his mouth and spat out a broken scroll. It merged with the black halberd and turned into a sky. A terrifying aura filled the air, and endless runes fell. It was too terrifying. What kind of ability was this? Everyone was shocked. They did not expect Hayamo to have such a terrifying ability other than the Black Dragon Annihilation Wave. This ability was not used in the battle with Huangfu Beitian previously. It seemed that Hayamo was indeed terrifying and had many trump cards. Seeing this, the first elder also shouted coldly and activated the defensive formation. Boom, boom, boom. Defensive formations appeared in the surroundings again. Obviously, the combat level had surpassed before and reached the level of Hayamo and Huangfu Beitian. Huangfu Tian's eyes were piercingly cold as he stared at the two figures in the sky. There was also a trace of surprise in his eyes, because he did not expect Lin Xian to be able to display such strength. To be honest, he had never paid attention to Lin Xian before. Even Zhongling Xiu, he did not take a second look, because in his opinion, although these two dark horses were strong, they could only make it to the top 10. If they could not even make it to the top 5, let alone fight him. In the entire Full Moon Peak, he had no opponent at all. If there was an opponent, it would be the first place of the other 3 peaks. That was his true opponent. But now, the strength that Lin Xian displayed surprised him. He could actually force Hayamo to such a state. He could even activate the defensive formation of the Full Moon Peak. This surprised him greatly. Therefore, he could not help but start to pay attention to Lin Xian. Black Dragon Sky Diagram? Lin Xian looked up at the sky. Endless runes fell from the sky and were split apart by his green lotus sword technique. At the same time, he waved his hand, and a black war chariot appeared in front of him. This black war chariot was very simple and unadorned. The black lines on its surface were incomparably dark, as if they were made up of demonic runes. The moment he appeared, he attracted everyone's attention. What was that? A war chariot? Was it a magic treasure? He didn't know. Everyone was puzzled. Lin Xian struck out a spell, and instantly, a fiery dragon-shaped sword chi rushed out and coiled around the black chariot, forming a fiery dragon chariot. Wang! The fiery dragon chariot was activated. Countless runes flickered as it fought against the black dragon diagram in the sky. Then, it defied the heavens and clashed with the black dragon diagram. When the two collided, the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. It was as if the end of the world had arrived. The entire sky was blasted apart. Boundless energy surged, causing the surroundings to tremble. Fortunately, First Elder had activated the defensive array formation in advance. Otherwise, Full Moon Peak would have been smashed into pieces. It's useless. You can't block the black dragon transforming heavenly diagram. This was a saint's rune. No matter how strong you are, you won't be able to block it. Black Demon was extremely confident, but soon his face darkened and even became ferocious. That was because he realized that the other party had blocked it. Not only that, but the other party had even almost shattered his black dragon diagram. How was that possible? What was that black war chariot? Could it be that it also had a saint's rune? He was too shocked that the other party had such a thing in his hands. In his opinion, that was just an ordinary half-step sacred artifact. It could not be compared to his black dragon diagram at all. But now, it was beyond his expectations. Lin Xian's eyes flickered with golden light. He naturally saw Black Demon's expression clearly. Immediately, he sneered. Why? Are you very surprised? To be honest, I really didn't take you seriously. Hearing that, Black Demon was so angry that he vomited blood. Didn't take him seriously? What a joke. Even Huangfu Beitian might not dare to say such a thing, but the other party dared to be so arrogant. Kid, I'll let you see my strongest attack. Speaking of that, the black halberd flew down from the black dragon diagram again and was caught by Black Demon. In the next moment, Black Demon's right arm suddenly expanded. Countless black runes emitted a terrifying aura, apocalyptic black dragon wave. Black Demon was going to unleash his strongest attack. At this moment, countless experts looked up at the sky because they knew that the outcome would be decided soon. Lin Xian frowned. World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave. It was indeed very strong. He had seen it before. Its power surpassed the majority of divine abilities and could pose a threat to him. However, he had a way to break the World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave. He had seen it once before. Although the World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave was powerful, it also had flaws. Buzz. Golden runes flickered in his eyes. A golden moon floated up and down as if it wanted to pierce through everything. Useless kid, don't even think about breaking my World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave. The aura on Black Demon's body became more and more terrifying. The black halberd in his hand turned into a black dragon. The dragon opened its head, and a terrifying energy rushed out. The sky fell, and the earth cracked. The terrifying energy completely enveloped a radius of hundreds of thousands of miles, forming a huge black hole in the sky. Lin Xian felt a powerful force coming towards him. Buzz. He activated the Nine-Yang Divine Body, and a powerful force bloomed. The energy of the World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave hit the Nine-Yang Divine Body and made an earth-shaking sound. Lin Xian faced the attack like a fiend god. Clang, 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 clang. He was under great pressure. There were even many places that became dim. However, the Nine-Yang Divine Body was very strong. It forcibly resisted the pressure, allowing Lin Xian's speed to reach the extreme. The long sword in Lin Xian's hand continued to bloom. The green Lotus 13 swords were displayed by him, forming huge green lotuses that bloomed in the sky. They destroyed the terrifying World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave. Lin Xian arrived in front of Black Demon. How was this possible? Black Demon was stunned. In the distance, the elders were also stunned. Huangfu Baiqian's eyes burst out with a biting cold light. It was like a divine blade that pierced through the void. They were too shocked. They didn't expect Lin Xian to be so powerful. He could actually kill the World Annihilation Black Dragon Wave. The others were stunned. They couldn't see. The sky was pitch black and could even devour souls. What had happened? Xue Ling, Yi Fei, and the others also shook their heads. They couldn't see clearly. Perhaps Huangfu Beitian could see clearly. They looked at Huangfu Beitian. They saw Huangfu Beitian stand up from his cultivation posture with his hands behind his back. His eyes were like rainbows that could pierce through the front. The two elders were even more so. The first elder's eyes were like a divine lamp. There was a hint of excitement at the corner of his mouth. He knew that the outcome of the battle was about to be decided. Black Demon shouted angrily, "Die, kid." Chapter 3050. So, what if his opponent attacked him? He waved the halberd in his hand and stabbed at Lin Xian. Lin Xian did not dodge at all. His divine body glowed. With a clang, he blocked the halberd. However, the power of the Black Demon bloodline exploded, increasing the power of the halberd. With a puchi, it pierced through Lin Xian's body. In the sky, there was blood that scattered down. mixing with golden light as it scattered down. Someone was injured. Although the people below could not see the battle clearly, they could see the blood. It was golden blood. It was not the black demon's blood, but Lin Xian's blood. Lin Xian was injured. Seeing this scene, Du Jiao, Lan Yi, and the other prodigies laughed. Ha ha! I knew that Lord Black Demon would not be injured. Of course, Lord Black Demon was so powerful that no one could defeat him except for Huangfu Beitian. Brother Lin Xian. Shun Jingqiu was extremely nervous, and the Crimson Dragon was shocked. In the distance, Qing Wu snorted. That kid lost in the end. The others felt their scalps go numb. Even someone as strong as Lin Xian was defeated by the Black Demon. Could it be that only Huangfu Beitian could suppress the Black Demon? The elders also had the same expression. They sighed. Even though he was defeated, it was glorious. Yes, this kid's strength was beyond our expectations. It seemed that he would become a member of the Full Moon Peak in less than 10 years. They were too excited. In the sky, in the endless flow of darkness, the Black Demon's lips curled into a sinister smile. Kid, you're injured. He was so excited that he finally injured his opponent. So, what if his opponent had the 9 Yang divine body? It was not a greater success divine body. He could shatter it. Lin Xian also smiled. You've lost. A piercing light burst out from his eyes, and the long sword in his hand stabbed out crazily. Red? Not good. The Black Demon felt a powerful threat. His glabella split open, and his soul was distorted, as if it was about to be torn apart. He screamed crazily. His soul instantly soared into the sky, abandoning his physical body. There was no other way. That sword was too fatal. If he didn't run, his body and soul would probably be destroyed. In midair, the 2 judges were also stunned. Who would have thought that Lin Xian would have such a killer move? They wanted to attack quickly, but when they saw Black Demon's soul escape, they heaved a sigh of relief. Boom! Black Demon's glabella split open, and half of his body shattered. Black demonic blood dripped down and fell to the ground along with his body. Below, those people were still discussing. The single-horned king, blue-winged king, and the others were laughing madly. They believed that their great black devil was unrivaled in this world. In the next moment, these people were all stunned. A black shadow fell down and landed on the arena, causing the arena to tremble nonstop. Everyone widened their eyes and looked ahead. Was the outcome already decided? It seemed that Lin Xian had been beaten down. He must have been seriously injured. Even if this kid didn't die, he would be half dead. No, it wasn't Lin Xian. It was black blood. It was Black Demon. Someone screamed. The next moment, everyone was stunned. What? Black Demon? They widened their eyes and looked carefully. His glabella was about to split open. It was really Black Demon. Black Demon's body fell on the arena. Black blood dyed the entire arena red. The surrounding void could not withstand the terrifying pressure of the bloodline. How was this possible? Yi Fei, Xueling, and the others were dumbfounded. Huangfu Beitian retracted his gaze and shook his head slightly. He also had a face of surprise. He did not expect Black Demon to be defeated. The other elders were also shocked. The first elder was extremely excited. He won. That kid actually won. His potential was simply too great. Whoosh! The clouds broke open, and the darkness was torn apart. Endless golden light scattered down. Lin Xian landed powerfully. He held the fire Qilin sword in one hand and the black halberd in the other. Like a god of war, he arrived on the arena. Although his body was injured and his 9 Yang divine body was pierced, he still won this battle. Even the piercing wound did not pose a fatal threat to him. At this moment, everyone's mind was still in a daze, especially the single-horned king, blue-winged king, and the others. Their faces were pale and terrified. That's not right. Why didn't Black Demon move? Could it be that he was killed? Someone screamed. Indeed, they saw Black Demon's body split open. It was very terrifying. However, he did not move at all. In fact, he did not even have any aura. That shocked them. No way. Lin Xian killed Black Demon in front of the judges? They were about to pee their pants. No, look above. Yi Fei's eyes were like a rainbow. He finally saw the state of both sides. Everyone raised their heads and saw a black shadow floating above, as if it did not dare to come down. Was that Black Demon's soul? Heavens! His soul was forced out of his body and did not dare to come down. What did Lin Xian do? No one knew. Just now, it was wrapped in endless darkness. No one saw it clearly, probably other than those elders. Only Huangfu Beitian could see it clearly. Everyone looked at Huangfu Beitian. Huangfu Beitian did not say anything. He did see it clearly. That sword move made him a little moved. What kind of sword was that? If Black Demon did not run fast enough, his soul would have been destroyed by now. This kid was really a sword Dao genius. Huangfu Beitian felt pressure for the first time, and it was a heavy pressure. Black Demon could not give him this kind of pressure. Only the number one of the other peaks could give him this kind of pressure. But now, a newcomer of Full Moon Peak actually gave him such pressure. This made him feel incredulous. Winner, Lin Xian. The judge hurriedly announced the victory. Lin Xian threw the black halberd on the ground, put away the flaming war chariot, and turned to leave the arena. After Lin Xian completely left, Black Demon's soul in the sky dared to descend. He merged into his body and instantly erupted with endless demonic energy. Black Demon's face was extremely ugly. He stared at Lin Xian, but he did not dare to step forward, because he was really afraid. This battle ended with Lin Xian's victory. Everyone went crazy. They did not expect Lin Xian to be so strong. He actually defeated Black Demon. Everyone trembled. Blue Wing King, One Horn King Yusong, and the others did not dare to speak anymore. They were even about to kneel down. From now on, they would never dare to provoke Lin Xian again. They were even afraid of Lin Xian's revenge. There was no other way. Even their boss, Black Demon, was no match for him, let alone them. When they thought of how they provoked him so recklessly, they almost fainted from fright. Bang, bang, bang. One Horn King and Blue Wing King even knelt down and kowtowed to apologize. Everyone was dumbfounded by this scene. This was the power of Lin Xian. Brother Lin Xian, are you okay? Shun Jingqiu saw the blood on Lin Xian's body and was very nervous. Lin Xian shook his head and swallowed 2 heaven and earth treasures. The 9 yang divine body bloomed with light and began to repair. Beside him, the Crimson Dragon exclaimed, "Kid, you actually became so strong. Where did you go?" Chapter 3051. Lin Xian said with a smile, "I went to a good place. I'll bring you along next time." While they were discussing, countless gazes were cast towards them. Zhong Lingxiu's eyes were filled with a mysterious aura, as if she wanted to see through Lin Xian. The others had a look of horror and awe. In the distance, Qing Wu was also stunned, her beautiful eyes wide open. This guy actually won. She really couldn't believe it. Damn it, I have to tell my brother. This kid is a great enemy. Qing Wu didn't see any more matches. She turned around and soared into the sky. Not only her, but there were also prodigies from the other 3 peaks who came to watch the battle. They had heard of Lin Xian before. However, they never thought that Lin Xian was actually so powerful. This battle had already caused them to be terrified. They had to hurry back to report that apart from Huangfu Beitian, Lin Xian also came from Full Moon Peak. Next, the competition continued. Although it was also exciting, it was much worse than the battle between Lin Xian and He Mo. It was the 5th Wang Qi's turn. Wang Qi challenged Xueling, but he lost to Xueling in the end. Schwelling also failed to challenge Yi Fei. Yu Fei took a deep breath and looked at Lin Xian and Huangfu Beitian. He didn't challenge Lin Xian, but Huangfu Beitian. The reason for that was because he wanted to see how powerful Huangfu Beitian was. Previously, he had used his flying dagger technique, but he was directly sent flying by Huangfu Beitian's blade. He didn't dare to take that sharp blade light head-on at all. Just the overflowing aura alone left dozens of blade marks on his body. Therefore, Yi Fei decisively admitted defeat. However, this was also very shocking, because they realized that Huangfu Beitian didn't dodge. It was very likely that he couldn't dodge Yi Fei's blade. Thinking of this possibility, their hearts beat wildly. Even those elders' breathing quickened. If Yi Fei's strength was a little stronger, his flying dagger would probably be so powerful that even Huangfu Beitian wouldn't dare to take it head-on. Next, it was He Mo's turn. He Mo first stared at Lin Xian, gritting his teeth. To be honest, he couldn't believe that he would lose to his opponent. He wanted revenge. However, he soon gave up. He realized that Lin Xian's recovery was even faster than his. Although he had recovered from most of his injuries, there was still some sword intent left in his body. He was unable to unleash 100% of his strength. And from the looks of it, the other party had already fully recovered. No, he couldn't take the risk. He had to get one of the top 3 spots. How pitiful was the moon-gazing, wordless monument. Black Devil didn't challenge Lin Xian or Huangfu Beitian. He challenged Yi Fei instead. In the end, he defeated Yi Fei. Yi Fei sighed. Originally, he had occupied 3rd place and was able to comprehend the moon-gazing, wordless steel. However, because of Lin Xian's strong entrance, he was only able to occupy 4th place. Finally, all the matches were arranged. First, Huangfu Beitian. Second, Lin Xian. Third, Black Devil. 4th, Yi Fei. 5th, Schwelling. 6th, Wang Qi. 7th, Lu Yanan. At this point, the top 3 were out. Everyone was astounded. Huangfu Beitian was still the champion for the 2nd time. The Black Devil was now ranked 3rd. The 2nd place was Lin Xian. He was a newcomer who had just joined the moon-gazing peak a few months ago. Everyone was astounded, feeling that it was unreal. At the same time, some became excited. I wonder how this Lin Xian would fare against Huangfu Beitian. Do you think he could defeat Huangfu Beitian? No one knows. It's hard to say, but it might be possible. The crowd discussed among themselves as Lin Xian and Huangfu Beitian had yet to fight. Huangfu Beitian was not required to challenge anyone, since he was ranked 1st. Meanwhile, Lin Xian had already used up his 2 chances to challenge someone. He had no chance to challenge someone else. Thus, the 2 of them did not fight. As such, no one knew about it. Hearing this, Lin Xian glanced at Huangfu Beitian beside him. Huangfu Beitian also turned around and glanced at him. Their gazes clashed in the air. Following this, a saber glow and a sword intent soared into the sky and intertwined, tearing the clouds apart. How powerful! The crowd was astounded. Even the Black Devil took a step back. Their auras were too powerful, to the point that even he was shocked. Damn it! The Black Devil clenched his teeth so hard that they were about to shatter. He swore that he would never be defeated again. However, he did not expect to be slapped in the face so soon. He was defeated by Lin Xian. Judging from the current situation, these 2 had completely surpassed him. No, I must comprehend the moon-gazing, wordless steel. I must surpass these 2. I'm the strongest. The Black Devil let out a furious roar. On the other side, Lin Xian was astounded. This Huangfu Beitian was very powerful. He had far surpassed the Black Devil. I wonder what the outcome would be if I were to fight him. He could not deduce the outcome now. He would only know if he were to fight him. On the other side, Huangfu Beitian was equally astounded. He did not expect Wang Yefeng to have someone who could pose a threat to him. He could not see through Lin Xian's strength. The first elder walked over with a smile. He was very satisfied with the outcome of the battle. Lin Xian's performance gave him a pleasant surprise. He announced the result of the competition and then gave out rewards to everyone. Everyone had a reward. However, there were many rewards for the top 10 and even more for the top 3. Each of the top 3 received a chance to go to the moon-gazing lake again. At the same time, the most important reward was that the top 3 had a chance to comprehend the moon-gazing, wordless stele. This was a great opportunity. If they could comprehend the moon-gazing, wordless stele, they would soar into the sky. At that time, they might be able to defeat the North Demon and become the number 1 person in the House of Prodigy. Next, everyone dispersed to receive their rewards. The moon-gazing, wordless stele would open in 10 days. Lin Xian, Huangfu Beitian, and the Black Devil would take advantage of this period to enter the moon-gazing lake and cultivate for half a day. Entering the moon-gazing lake again, Lin Xian felt a powerful force enveloping him. This force made him feel very comfortable. Of course, he was not careless and absorbed it with all his might. Outside, everyone was watching. Heavens! Lin Xian had condensed the 9 heavy waves. Everyone exclaimed. It couldn't be helped, although Lin Xian was only ranked 2nd on the moon-gazing peak. The scene of him entering the moon-gazing lake was even more shocking than Huangfu Beitian, not to mention Huangfu Beitian. Even the number 1 person in the House of Prodigy, the North Demon, couldn't be compared to him. The 9 heavy waves surged between heaven and earth, stunning everyone. At the bottom of the lake, Lin Xian opened his eyes. Half a day of cultivation had greatly increased his strength, which was equivalent to hundreds of years of cultivation in the outside world. His strength had improved to the mid-9 star realm, and the force in his body was much stronger. After coming out, Lin Xian was overjoyed. He spent the remaining 9 days to consolidate his strength. Huangfu Beitian and the Black Devil also came out. They had both improved and went back to consolidate their strength. The other geniuses were also nervous and waited patiently. There were only a few days left before the moon-gazing, wordless stele opened again. This time, would anyone be able to comprehend it? They had no idea. Chapter 3052. But they knew that the chances this time would probably be much greater than before. After all, there was an additional Lin Xian, and Lin Xian was the same as Yi Guqing back then, stirring up the 9 waves. In fact, Lu Yanan and a few others knew that the other party condensed the moon soul in 2 hours. This kind of talent could be rated as heaven-defying. It was even more terrifying than Yi Guqing. Back then, Yi Guqing successfully comprehended the moon-gazing, wordless stele. Wonder if Lin Xian could successfully comprehend it this time? Everyone, including Head Elder, and the rest, carried a feeling of anticipation and nervousness. 9 days passed. Finally, the 10th day arrived. The blazing sun rose. Sunlight scattered all over Moon-Gazing Peak. On this day, everyone woke up early. Everyone was excited. They knew that today was the day the moon-gazing, wordless stele opened. Yi Fei came, Xueling came, Wang Ji came, those people all came. Black Fiend came out. The aura on his body was even more terrifying than 10 days ago. However, his expression was somewhat gloomy and cold. Very clearly, the defeat previously made him very unhappy. Huangfu Beitian also appeared carrying a long saber on his back, like a saber god. His gaze looked around. When he saw Black Fiend, he only gave him a glance and ignored him, because Black Fiend was not his match. He was looking for someone who could give him pressure. That person was naturally Lin Xian. Not just him, Black Fiend was also looking for the other party. Head Elder, Yi Fei, and the rest were also looking. Very soon, their brows raised. They discovered that the other party had arrived. Lin Xian was still dressed in red robes, his face handsome. He was abnormally calm as he walked over. Everyone's gazes fell on him. Black Fiend snorted coldly, his eyes erupting with piercing, cold, killing intent. Huangfu Baiqian's gaze was deep. Zhong Lingxiu had a mysterious look. However, everyone was stunned. They could not see through Lin Xian's actual situation. Those elders were also surprised. Head elder sighed. This kid was very mysterious. Indeed, if he did not execute law, he could not see clearly. Lin Xian's arrival undoubtedly attracted everyone's attention. One after another, discussions and exclamations fell on him. The void cracked open, and in the sky there were nomological laws floating. The sage had arrived. Had the Peak Lord come out of seclusion? Everyone looked up and saw a middle-aged man in a Taoist robe descending from the sky. It was the Peak Lord of the Full Moon Peak. The Peak Master of the Full Moon Peak looked to be in his 30s, but everyone knew that he was an old monster who had lived for thousands of years. Everyone cupped their fists and bowed, greeting the Peak Lord. The Full Moon Peak Master nodded slightly. The first elder and the other elders also walked over. At the same time, the Grand Elder spoke in a deep voice. Huangfu Baiqian, Lin Xian, Hey Mo, the three of you step forward. Hearing this, Lin Xian and the other two walked forward while the others watched nervously from behind. Yi Fei, Xueling, and the others' eyes were filled with envy because they were not qualified. Only the three people in front of him were qualified to comprehend it. Stars flickered in the Peak Master's eyes as he scanned Huangfu Baiqian and Lin Xian with the power of the laws. He nodded slightly. Although he already knew the results of the competition, he was still surprised when he saw Lin Xian again. He did not expect Lin Xian to be able to make it to the top 3 and even defeat He Mo to obtain a spot to comprehend the full moon wordless steel. It was a pleasant surprise. Let's go. The Peak Master turned around and walked forward. The nomological laws flickered under his feet, forming a great path that carried him into the sky. The first elder and the others also followed. Lin Xian and the others rose into the sky, and behind them the prodigies of the Full Moon Peak also followed. They were very excited. Although the Full Moon Peak was named after a mountain, its territory was very large. This time, their target was the mountain that was tens of thousands of feet tall. That was the main peak of the Full Moon Peak. Soon, everyone arrived in front of the main peak. Lin Xian and the others raised their heads and looked forward, exclaiming in their hearts. It was also his first time looking at the Full Moon Peak at such a close distance. The Crimson Dragon beside him muttered, "What a mysterious aura." The Full Moon Peak was not simple. As an array formation master, he could naturally feel the terrifying and mysterious power coming from the Full Moon Peak. Buzz. At this moment, there were nomological laws waving between heaven and earth, piercing through the void and reflecting each other. The people of the Full Moon Peak raised their heads. The disciples exclaimed, "Another sage is here?" Yi Fei and the others were shocked, and they explained in a low voice that it was the Peak Masters of the other 3 peaks. Indeed, the Peak Masters of the Ethereal Peak, Exquisite Peak, and Divine Tactics Peak were all here. After all, the activation of the full moon wordless steel was also an earth-shattering event in the extraordinary warrior manner. How could they not come? The 3 Peak Masters stood in the void like god fiends. In addition to the Peak Masters of the 3 peaks, the top prodigies and elders were also here. It could be said that the entire extraordinary warrior manor was in turmoil. In the air, a beautiful woman in a green robe attracted everyone's attention. "Fairy Qing Wu," everyone exclaimed. Next to Qing Wu, there was a demonic man with a slender figure and a handsome face. His eyes carried a mysterious power. He was the strongest person of the Ethereal Peak, the North Demon. On the other side, at Exquisite Peak, There was a woman in a red robe with a veil on her face, and her aura was exquisite. She was the strongest person of the exquisite peak, Yu Linglong. There was another person who was wearing a battle armor with runes flowing on his body, shining brightly like a god of war. He was the strongest person of divine tactics peak, Han Fei. In addition to the strongest people of the three peaks, the other top prodigies were also here. All eyes fell on Lin Xian, Huangfu Beitian, and He Mo. Of course, most of them were looking at Lin Xian. That was because they were already very familiar with Huangfu Beitian and He Mo, but Lin Xian was very unfamiliar to them. They knew that he was a newcomer. At the same time, they were surprised that a newcomer could obtain the second place. It was really shocking. In the distance, Qing Wu was fuming. She was very unhappy. This guy really succeeded. I'm so angry. He definitely won't be able to comprehend the full moon wordless steel. Seeing Qing Wu's angry look, the North Demon rubbed her hair and said, "Why do you have to be angry with yourself? He didn't provoke you." "Who said that?" "I can't stand his smug look." Qing Wu pouted. The North Demon's eyes flickered as he looked at the young man in red. "This kid is very strong and will definitely be a great enemy in the future. I just didn't expect him to grow so quickly. I wonder if he can comprehend the full moon wordless steel." Not only him, but Yu Linglong and Han Fei also had the same thought. It couldn't be helped. The full moon wordless steel was too famous. It was rumored that it was the first divine steel of the extraordinary warrior manner. Whoever could comprehend, it would be the strongest person of the extraordinary warrior manner. They could even dominate the ancient path of the starry sky. Chapter 3053. Back then, Yi Gucheng had already comprehended the moon-gazing, wordless steel. He had not fully comprehended it, but he had already displayed such powerful strength. In the end, he died because of an accident. Otherwise, he would definitely be a supreme sage or even a great emperor. Therefore, because of Yi Gucheng's legend, the moon-gazing, wordless steel became even more mysterious. After all, other than Yi Gucheng, no one had been able to comprehend the moon-gazing, wordless steel for tens of thousands of years. The peak masters of the three peaks also had solemn expressions, because they knew how special the moon-gazing, wordless steel was. The three peaks also had mysterious inscriptions, but that was the Holy Grail, which was left behind by a sage. The moon-gazing, wordless steel was different. Its origin was more spiritual, far surpassing the holy steel. That was why it was so difficult to cultivate, and once cultivated, its power was extremely terrifying. Seeing that the peak masters of the other three peaks, elders and prodigies, had all arrived, the peak master of the moon-gazing peak was not surprised. He took a deep breath, and a cold light burst out from his eyes. Endless laws wrapped around him. In the next moment, he struck out one ancient Tao pattern after another, which appeared in the sky, then floated towards the moon-gazing peak. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As the Tao patterns floated into the moon-gazing peak one after another, the entire peak also changed. The sky was shrouded in light, illuminating the entire world. Not only that, but it also trembled violently. A crack appeared in the middle of the moon-gazing peak, which quickly spread to both sides. Seeing this scene, the surrounding prodigies widened their eyes. The moon-gazing peak was split open. Lin Xian was also shocked. This scene was too shocking. It was as if an invisible divine sword had split the moon-gazing peak from the middle. Shun Fei was even more shocked. He discovered that there was another world inside the split moon-gazing peak. Inside, ancient trees and mountains towered into the clouds. The vines were as thick as pythons. They were like huge dragons, carrying with them boundless strength. A powerful vitality was emitted from inside. The inside of the moon-gazing peak was actually like this. Lin Xian and the others were extremely shocked. It was too mysterious. That should be the moon-gazing wordless steel. they discovered that there was a stone stele inside. It was abnormally large. It stood tall on the earth. The stone monument was surrounded by vines and ancient trees, but the surface of the stone monument was as smooth as a mirror. There was nothing on it. The entire stone tablet was completely black. It was 100 feet tall, and its surface was as smooth as a mirror without any marks. Was this the Moongazer wordless stele? Sensing the prehistoric aura coming from the front, everyone began to tremble. Even the peak masters of the 4 great peaks wore stern expressions. Huangfu Baitian's eyes lit up. He Mo was so excited that he started trembling. Yi Fei, Wang Qi, Xueling, and the others' eyes turned red. Zhong Lingxiu's eyes flickered with a mysterious light as she stared at the wordless mountain-gazing stele in front of her. Not only those from the Full Moon Peak, but the geniuses from the Exquisite Peak, the Divine Strategy Peak, and the Misty Peak also had fiery gazes. Even the North Yao's eyes shone with a shocking light. Previously, as the #1 person in the outstanding scholar mansion, he had also wanted to comprehend the Moongazer wordless stele. However, he had failed in the end. This made him realize that he was not fated to comprehend the Moongazer wordless stele. Hence, he could only try to comprehend the misty sacred stele of the Misty Peak. Lin Xian was equally shocked. Not only that, but there was also a strange movement in his body. This strange movement gave Lin Xian a fright. There were no marks on the Moongazer wordless stele. Hence, Lin Xian activated his heavenly secret god eyes to see if there were any secrets hidden within. Golden runes flickered. Lin Xian looked in front of him. However, he realized that the Moongazer wordless stele was too mysterious. It was as if there was a strand of heavenly secret blocking everything. It was indeed mysterious. Was this the Moongazer wordless stele? Even the heavenly secret god eyes could not see through it. Lin Xian was shocked. However, at this moment, the mysterious small sword in his body vibrated. Not only that, but the great dragon sword soul was also operating rapidly, trying to soar into the sky. What was going on? Lin Xian was shocked as he suppressed the great dragon sword soul. It seemed like the great dragon sword soul was targeting the Moongazer wordless stele in front of him. How could this be? And this mysterious small sword had caused the Moongazer wordless stele to vibrate again. It even produced a sense of hostility. What was going on? Lin Xian had no idea. He guessed that it might be because Yi Gucheng had once comprehended the Moongazer wordless stele. Hence, when the great dragon sword soul came before the Moongazer wordless stele again, there would be a special change. However, he had no idea if this was the reason. Apart from Lin Xian himself, no one else knew about the change in Lin Xian's body. Even the peak leaders of the 4 peaks had no idea. The Full Moon Peak Master turned to Lin Xian and the other 2 and said in a deep voice, "The 3 of you, go ahead and comprehend it." Huangfu Baitian nodded solemnly. He Mo's eyes were red as he trembled in excitement. On the other hand, Lin Xian's heart was heavy. At this moment, the Full Moon Peak Master reminded them once again. The Moongazer wordless stele had a mysterious origin and contained heavenly secrets. Whether they could comprehend it or not depended on their luck. Just do your best, and don't force it. Lin Xian and the other 2 nodded. They also understood this principle. Subsequently, the Peak Master did not say anything else. The entire place fell silent. All eyes fell on Lin Xian, Huangfu Baitian, and He Mo. Huangfu Baitian soared into the sky while He Mo roared and turned into a black lightning bolt rushing forward. Both of them were extremely fast and arrived in front of the Moongazer wordless stele in an instant. Lin Xian also took a deep breath and strode forward. Soon he arrived as well. He realized that the great dragon sword soul in his body was trembling even more violently. Fortunately, he had merged with the great dragon sword soul and could suppress it. Lin Xian stood in front of the moongazer, wordless steel. He did not sit down to comprehend it immediately. Instead, he reached out and gently touched the black surface of the steel. The surface was shiny and smooth. However, when he touched the black steel, the great dragon sword soul in his body roared. The mysterious little sword shuddered slightly. A peerless aura was released. However, it soon disappeared. The great dragon sword soul's roar sounded in Lin Xian's body, but it was blocked by Lin Xian and did not come out. However, he could not block the aura released by the mysterious small sword. Buzz. He turned his head slightly and looked behind him. Previously, those people behind him did not seem to notice anything unusual, as if they did not notice this peerless killing intent. Only the peak masters of the 4 peaks raised their brows. What's going on? Why do I feel a mysterious aura flowing out? When they checked again, they found that the mysterious aura had disappeared without a trace. No one noticed it. Lin Xian was stunned. At the same time, he was even more puzzled. Why would the great dragon sword soul and the mysterious small sword in his body change like this after encountering the moongazer, wordless steel? Could it be that they had crossed paths before? Chapter 3054. After all, whether it was the dragon sword soul or the mysterious small sword, their origins were too mysterious. Perhaps he had encountered the moon-gazing, wordless steel before. Seeing Lin Xian standing in front of the moon-gazing, wordless steel, the elders and geniuses behind him began to discuss. What is this kid doing? Why isn't he comprehending? Is he scared out of his wits? That shouldn't be the case. Could it be that he discovered something special? Everyone was puzzled. At this moment, Huangfu Beitian and He Mo had already sat down cross-legged, found a place, and began to comprehend. Is Brother Lin Xian all right? Shun Jingqiu was a little worried. The dark rainbow divine dragon nodded and said, "Don't worry, this kid will definitely be fine." Although he said that, he was still a little worried in his heart. After all, the aura from the moon-gazing, wordless steel was too mysterious. In front, Lin Xian retracted his palm, found a place, and slowly sat down. He closed his eyes and began to comprehend. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Time passed slowly, but no one left. Instead, more and more people gathered here. Everyone was waiting silently. They knew that comprehending was a long process. Brother, how magical is the moon-gazing wordless steel? Why can't you comprehend it? In the distance, Qing Wu asked softly. The North Demon shook his head. I once tried to comprehend it. At that time, I closed my eyes and seemed to have entered a strange world. Everything around me was gray, as if there was nothing at the beginning of the chaos. I tried to search inside and kept walking in one direction. After walking for a month, I still couldn't find anything. That kind of despair had already filled my heart. So, I was forced to retreat. What? There's nothing at the beginning of the chaos. Then how can I comprehend it? After hearing that, Qing Wu's eyes widened. I don't know. Maybe they have a way. Maybe they can't comprehend it either. Indeed, Huangfu Beitian and He Mo also encountered a similar situation. They seemed to be in a strange world, and everything around them was like the beginning of the chaos. The two of them seemed to be exiled in the universe and began to search. On the other side, Lin Xian was the same. He felt that his surroundings were gray, and there was no sound or light. There was no one, not to mention any runes or secrets. He seemed to be the only one left between heaven and earth. Was this the moongazer wordless steel? Lin Xian frowned. He carefully tried to sense it, but he couldn't sense anything. How was he supposed to comprehend it? Previously, Xiao Qin had already learned about the heaven steels of the other 3 peaks. The Tao patterns of the saints were engraved on it, so it could be comprehended directly. This moongazer, wordless steel was much more mysterious and strange compared to the others. Lin Xian took a deep breath and decided to take a risk and try using the Great Dragon Sword Soul. After all, the Great Dragon Sword Soul had already tried to rush out to attack him before he had even comprehended the Great Dragon Sword Soul. Now that he had used the Great Dragon Sword Soul, it was very likely that it would cause unexpected consequences. However, he had no other choice. He could only give it a try. Lin Xian used the Great Dragon Sword Soul to destroy the surrounding chaotic nothingness. The Great Dragon Sword Spirit was an offensive saint technique that could destroy everything. As expected, the surrounding chaotic void was slashed apart. Lin Xian felt that his vision around him had become clearer. He decided on a direction and moved forward. His body and sword merged into a sword light and rushed forward. He would destroy all the chaotic nothingness along the way. He didn't believe that there was no end to this world. In the blink of an eye, 10 days passed. Everyone was still waiting silently. Suddenly, the peak master of the Moongazer Peak's eyes lit up and became sharp. The peak masters of the other 3 peaks also turned their heads and stared down. Under the Moongazer, wordless steel, Black Demon's body trembled slightly. His forehead was covered in cold sweat, and his tightly shut eyes were tightly knitted. It was as if he had encountered something painful. Oh no, Black Demon was going to fail. The North Monster was no stranger to this situation. He knew that Black Demon's will was about to collapse. He couldn't withstand the chaotic nothingness at all. That was because there was only one person in the world. There was no hope. There was nothing. He would definitely despair. It was already very difficult for Black Demon to hold on for 10 days. Moreover, the North Monster had comprehended it once before. He knew that the flow of time inside was different from outside. 10 days outside might be 100 or 200 years inside. No matter how strong a person was, they would collapse. As expected, Black Demon suddenly opened his eyes and roared at the sky. He spat out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground, twitching nonstop. Seeing this, the surrounding prodigies and elders were in an uproar. The first elder sighed, his face full of disappointment. Did he fail? The peak master of the Moongazer Peak also shook his head slightly. With a flip of his hand, the wind and clouds in front of him tumbled and wrapped around Black Demon, then sent him out. Treat his injuries, the Moongazer Peak's peak master said in a low voice. The surrounding elders went forward to treat He Mo's injuries. As for the others, they shifted their gazes away from He Mo and looked to the front. Now, only Huangfu Beitian and Lin Xian were left. They wondered if the 2 of them could comprehend it. Another 5 days passed. Huangfu Beiqian's body also trembled slightly. Large beads of sweat flowed down her forehead. Seeing this, the first elder and the others became nervous again. The elders and prodigies of the other peaks were also paying close attention. Could it be that Huangfu Beitian couldn't hold on anymore? It seemed like that was the case. Huangfu Beiqian's talent and strength both surpassed Black Demon's, but he only lasted 5 days longer than Black Demon. As expected, around an hour later, Huangfu Baiqian's eyes sprang open as he spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was completely pale. It was obvious that he was on the verge of losing his mind. The elders and the prodigies of the Moongazer Peak let out sighs. Failed. Even Huangfu Beitian had failed. Could it be that there was really no one left with money? In their hearts, Huangfu Beitian was a godlike existence. No one dared to challenge him due to his outstanding strength. Even against Black Demon, Huangfu Beitian could easily defeat him. Such a person was definitely a law-defying genius. But now, Huangfu Beitian had failed too. It was a great blow to the Moongazer Peak. The peak master of the Moongazer Peak shook his head and waved his hand. The clouds encapsulated Huangfu Beitian and sent him out too. Huangfu Beitian wore a wry smile as he glanced at Black Demon, who was sent out in advance. Black Demon had failed too? He had failed too. Wait, where's Lin Xian? He scanned his surroundings. Only he and Black Demon were resting. Lin Xian was nowhere to be seen. Could it be that the kid had not failed yet? Upon having this thought, Huangfu Baiqian's eyes widened. He glanced at Black Demon. Black Demon wore an unpleasant expression as he realized that Lin Xian had not failed yet. He had failed, and so had Huangfu Baiqian, but Lin Xian was still holding on. Black Demon could not believe it. Chapter 3055. At the same time, his figure began to tremble slightly. Could it be that his talent had surpassed Huangfu Baiqian's? This caused him to feel extremely jealous. Huangfu Baiqian was astounded too. In his opinion, Lin Xian was already defeated, but that was not the case. This guy was still holding on. Huangfu Baiqian's figure began to tremble too. Meanwhile, everyone's gaze was focused on the red-shirt young man ahead. The first elder's eyes were filled with excitement and nervousness. He had no idea what this kid was thinking. Would he succeed? The peak leader of the Full Moon Peak had a hint of anticipation too. The peak leaders of the other peaks discussed in whispers as their eyes flickered. This kid was holding on even longer than Huangfu Baiqian. He must be the successor of the Dragon King, as expected of the rumors. That's right, Yi Gucheng was also the successor of the Dragon King. Perhaps this kid could really create a miracle. Not necessarily, as Yi Gucheng was only able to comprehend it by coincidence. Even though this kid was the successor of the Dragon King, it would still be extremely difficult for him to comprehend it. The peak leaders discussed in whispers. Meanwhile, the geniuses and elders of the four peaks were dumbfounded too. Lin Xian had no idea what was happening outside. He was still one with the sword, maintaining the same posture as he pierced through the void. Anyone else would have lost their mind by now. However, as a swordsman, Lin Xian had a firm will. On top of that, it had been extremely difficult for him to reach this point. Thus, even at that moment, when faced with the primal chaos void, a scene that could cause one to despair and collapse, he was still able to forcibly endure it. After flying for an unknown period of time, perhaps hundreds or even thousands of years, Lin Xian's brows suddenly twitched as he realized that there was finally a change in front of him. That's great. Lin Xian was overjoyed as he increased his speed. Buzz. He arrived at the front. Although his surroundings were still filled with chaos, there was something in front of him. Something black. A black lotus emitted an eerie glow. What was that? Lin Xian's eyes widened as he saw the black lotus, causing his expression to turn unpleasant. He couldn't be more familiar with this thing. Previously, there was a black lotus in his body that sealed his spirit meridians, preventing him from cultivating. At that time, if not for the sword-shaped pendant, Lin Xian might not have been able to cultivate for the rest of his life. Therefore, how could he possibly forget about this black lotus? However, he hadn't expected to encounter the black lotus that sealed his spirit meridians here. What's going on? Why was it like this? Lin Xian was extremely shocked. To be honest, he never knew why there was a black lotus in his body. Why did the lotus seal his spirit vein? No one had ever told him that. Lord Alcohol hadn't, and neither had his father, Lin Zhan. Furthermore, Lin Xian had gradually forgotten about this matter. After all, ever since he had obtained the mysterious little sword, the Black Lotus had been destroyed. From then on, such a thing never happened to her body again. Furthermore, he had never seen that kind of Black Lotus again. But now, he actually saw it again in the Plenilin wordless steel. Could it be that this Black Lotus flower existed in the Moongazer wordless steel? Was it the Moongazer wordless steel that sealed him? But why? The Moongazer wordless steel was the most mysterious inscription on the Moongazer Peak. At that time, he was just a weak creature in the dust. Why would the moon gazer wordless steel seal him? Lin Xian couldn't understand at all. This didn't make sense. Could it be because of his father? Lin Xian had always felt that his father, Lin Zhan, was very mysterious. Now he was already a super saint like Xia Zhuyo. One had to know that super saints were extremely rare. There weren't many of them in the world. Moreover, it could be said that it was extremely difficult to cultivate, and his father was one of them. He didn't know if his father had obtained some kind of great opportunity after coming to the true spirit continent, or if his father had hidden his strength when he was in the Sword Pool Mansion. All of this was a mystery. Could it be an illusion? Is it a test for me? Suddenly, Lin Xian had such a thought. After all, the moon-gazer wordless steel was incomparably mysterious. Perhaps it had created an illusion to make Lin Xian face the thing that he feared the most in his heart. To Lin Xian, the thing that frightened him the most was being sealed again. However, just as Lin Xian thought that this was an illusion, the black lotus flower in front of him suddenly moved. Countless lotuses surged toward him, densely packed and shrouding him. Lin Xian could feel a sealing power surging toward him, as if it was trying to seal him once again. Not good. Lin Xian was shocked, and a biting cold light burst out from his eyes. Get lost! At this moment, he used the great dragon sword soul again. A dragon image rushed out, turning into a divine sword and sweeping in all directions. These black lotuses were simply too bizarre. The great dragon sword soul's powerful attack had only managed to push them back. It hadn't managed to cut them into pieces. What was this thing? Lin Xian now suspected that all of this was a dream. More and more black lotus flowers kept spurting out, but fortunately, Lin Xian had the great dragon sword soul and could still resist. However, it was only for self-defense. However, at this critical moment, the mysterious small sword in Lin Xian's body trembled slightly. A sword light illuminated the surroundings. Buzz. Many black lotus flowers were completely destroyed, and a bloody path was opened between heaven and earth. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The surrounding black lotus flowers quickly retreated and returned to their original places. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. What was this lotus flower? Even the great dragon sword soul couldn't do anything to it. Fortunately, he still had the mysterious small sword in his body. Otherwise, this time, he would really be in danger. Lin Xian withdrew his thoughts and looked ahead carefully. The next moment, he was extremely shocked. He finally saw the black lotus flower and the surrounding scene clearly. In front of him, there was also a black stone tablet. There were no words on it, and it was as smooth as a mirror. This scene was like the moon-gazer, wordless steel in the outside world. It was just that its appearance and shape were much smaller. However, the aura on it was even more terrifying. However, this moon-gazer, wordless steel was covered with black lotus flowers. Could it be that this moon-gazer, wordless steel was sealed by the lotus flowers? Such a thought suddenly popped up in Lin Xian's mind. Moreover, the more he thought about it, the more he felt that it was possible. Damn it, what was going on? This lotus flower didn't belong to the moon-gazer, wordless steel. It grew here. It was specially used to seal the moon-gazer, wordless steel. But why did it seal the moon-gazer, wordless steel? Moreover, this black lotus had sealed him before. Was there any connection or similarity between it and the moon-gazer, wordless steel? Lin Xian didn't know. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In front of him, the moon-gazer, wordless steel emitted a primitive aura and a wave of fluctuations. You are here, although it wasn't a sound, and was just a wave. Lin Xian could clearly feel the meaning behind it. You are conscious. Lin Xian was extremely shocked. He didn't expect that the moon-gazer, wordless steel was actually a living thing. Chapter 3056. Suddenly, he thought of something. Perhaps it was some kind of weapon spirit because some powerful weapons would have spiritual intelligence. For example, an extreme weapon contained a terrifying weapon spirit that was usually asleep, but once it woke up, the power of an extreme weapon would be fully unleashed. In addition to extreme weapons, sacred weapons also had weapon spirits, but it had to be an extremely terrifying sacred weapon. In other words, the more terrifying the weapon was, the more likely it was to have a weapon spirit. He didn't expect the plenilune, wordless steel to have a weapon spirit, and it seemed that the weapon spirit had been sealed by the Black Lotus for a long time. What was going on? What was this Black Lotus? Why was it sealed? What else did it seal? In an instant, Lin Xian asked countless questions because he was too puzzled. However, the plenilune, wordless steel didn't answer. Instead, it emitted a weak fluctuation again. You leave quickly. You are not his opponent. Who is he? Is it the Black Lotus? Or is there someone behind the Black Lotus? Lin Xian asked again. Don't you remember? That's right, you are not him. The steel shadow in front of him fluctuated again. Lin Xian was even more puzzled. Do I remember in the past? And who is that him? Successor of the great dragon, leave. I can't let you comprehend it now. The fluctuation in front of him came. Senior, what do I have to do to save you? Lin Xian asked quickly. He had a feeling that this Black Lotus was not a good thing. To be precise, the other party was not a good thing. Otherwise, it wouldn't have sealed him before. It's useless. You are too weak now. You will know everything when you become stronger. Now that you know, it will only add to your troubles. The steel spirit didn't answer, but urged Lin Xian to leave. Lin Xian gritted his teeth. He wanted to mobilize the mysterious small sword in his body to rush out and destroy the lotus, but he found that he couldn't do it at all. There was no other way. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with determination. In the next moment, he rushed forward as if he wanted to crash into those Black Lotus. Buzz. This scene naturally caused the Black Lotus to counterattack. On the moon-gazing, wordless steel, many lotus flowers rushed out, wanting to entangle Lin Xian. The mysterious little sword in Lin Xian's body trembled once again. A sword light rushed out and destroyed many of the lotuses nearby. Just like that, Lin Xian used his own body as a guide to mobilize the mysterious little sword in his body and finally cut off a small half of the lotus flower. But soon his little face turned cold because he realized that it was useless. What was cut off now was just a drop in the ocean. The spirit of the wordless mountain-gazing steel was still shrouded by the Black Lotus. You were actually able to kill it. The boulder spirit of the wordless mountain-gazing boulder shuddered. It did not expect Lin Xian to have such an ability. Senior, don't worry. Give me some time, and I'll be able to completely exterminate these lotuses. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. It's useless. Although you have a great treasure, your strength is too weak. You can't destroy it now, let alone save me. Unexpectedly, there was still hope. Senior, what exactly is this thing? Lin Xian continued to ask. The boulder spirit did not answer. Instead, it muttered to itself, Last time, I placed my hopes on someone, thinking that he could save me from my misery. But now that you're here, I know that he failed. Last time, Lin Xian's heart thumped wildly. Could it be that it was talking about Yi Gucheng? Because only Yi Gucheng had comprehended the wordless mountain-gazing boulder. In the past tens of thousands of years, no one else had been able to comprehend it. It must be talking about Yi Gucheng. Indeed, the boulder spirit sent a wave. His name was indeed Yi Gucheng, and he was also the successor of the great dragon. It was indeed so. Lin Xian sighed. Senior Yi Gucheng had already fallen tens of thousands of years ago. He was besieged by several powerful sages on the ancient path of stars. Countless monstrous geniuses attacked, and in the end, Senior Yi Guqing fell in that battle. He was the one who attacked. They were the ones who attacked. They didn't want me to break out. The boulder spirit continued to send out waves. This time, it seemed to be a little angry. However, it had been sealed for countless years, so its waves were extremely weak. Leave and don't have anything to do with me. Otherwise, you'll end up like Yi Guqing sooner or later. They won't let you off. Lin Xian didn't know who the boulder spirit was referring to. However, Lin Xian wouldn't give up. He had to comprehend the wordless mountain-gazing boulder. He quickly said, Senior, even if I leave now, I'm afraid that the people you're talking about won't let me off in the future. Because before this, I already had this mysterious black lotus in my body that sealed my spirit meridians. If I didn't obtain a treasure, I'm afraid that I would still be a cripple and unable to cultivate it all. What? You actually have such a thing in your body too? This time, it was the boulder spirit's turn to be shocked. It really didn't expect that Lin Xian would be in the same situation as it. However, he broke free in the end. Could it be that it was fate? The boulder spirit sent out a violent wave. I was originally in despair, but I didn't expect you to appear. All right, I'll bet again. I bet that you can succeed. Lin Xian knew that the boulder spirit didn't mean that he would succeed in comprehending the wordless mountain-gazing boulder, but that he would fight his way to the top on the ancient path of stars. He would avoid ending up like Yi Guqing. Lin Xian clenched his fists. Senior, don't worry, I won't die. Since you're also their target, they won't let you off even if I don't impart something to you. Since that's the case, I naturally have to impart something to you. The boulder spirit's wave also became excited. Obviously, it saw hope. However, upon hearing this wave, the surrounding black lotus suddenly bloomed with a demonic light. Demonic aura filled the sky and covered the entire chaotic void. It completely engulfed Lin Xian and the boulder spirit. In the outside world, a month had passed, and everyone was still waiting patiently. The first elder and the peak master of the full moon peak had a trace of excitement in their eyes. After such a long time, Lin Xian still hadn't failed. Could it be that he really could succeed? The other elders of the heavenly sect, the crowd burst into an uproar. Huangfu Beitian let out a sigh. As a matter of fact, he had never placed anyone in his eyes at the full moon peak. However, Lin Xian had given him a great shock. He did not expect him to be able to persist for so long. He had completely surpassed him, thus he had no choice but to admit defeat. On the other side, the black demon clenched his teeth and trembled. His eyes were bloodshot, and he was about to go crazy from jealousy. Damn it! How could this kid persist for so long? He should have failed long ago. That's right, he failed after 10 days, and Huangfu Beitian failed after 15 days. But now, a month had passed, and he was still able to persist. Why was that? Why? He was not convinced and even hoped that Lin Xian would fail. Chapter 3057. As expected of the successor of the great dragon, he can hold on for so long. The other three peak leaders discussed in low voices. Qing Wu curled her lips in dissatisfaction. That guy is really holding on. The North Beast's eyes shone with a cold light. Holding on doesn't mean that he can successfully comprehend it. However, it seems that the kid has a high chance of succeeding. Yu Linglong and Han Fei were also watching silently. If Lin Xian succeeded in comprehending it, then he would be a great enemy to them. Therefore, they had to see his success with their own eyes. Just like that, another day passed. Suddenly, Lin Xian's body trembled slightly. Large beads of sweat dripped from his forehead, and his face became abnormally pale. There was no trace of blood. Oh no, that kid is in danger, many people exclaimed. The first elder's heart instantly rose to his throat. The full moon peak's peak leader took a deep breath. There were endless laws in his eyes. The great Tao surged under his feet. Obviously, he felt extremely indignant. Big brother Lin Xian. Shen Jingqiu was extremely nervous. The dark rainbow, divine dragon, also screamed. Impossible! That kid can't fail. This doesn't make sense. Is the result going to be out? In the distance, the North Beast, Yu Linglong, Han Fei, and the others were watching nervously. Huangfu Beitian sighed when he saw this scene. He was very familiar with this scene. The last time he failed, it was the same situation that happened. Is Lin Xian going to fail too? Ha ha ha! I knew that kid won't succeed. The black demon's lips curled into a cold smile. However, he was ecstatic in his heart. If the peak leader wasn't still here, he would have thrown his head back and laughed. Great. Is he finally going to fail too? Humph. If I can't get it, no one else can. Everyone watched nervously. Lin Xian's body trembled. His face was pale, and he could lose at any time. However, he did not open his eyes or vomit blood. Just like that, his body trembled, and he persisted for another 3 days. During these 3 days, the elders of the full moon peak spent their days on tenterhooks. The others were also extremely nervous. The black demon was so angry that he vomited blood. Damn it! How did this happen? How could this brat still persist? The way he saw it, the other party was trembling and his face was pale. He was already on the verge of collapse and would be defeated very soon. However, the other party had persisted for 3 days. He hadn't come out yet. This scene was truly unbelievable to him. This guy's willpower was really formidable. Huangfu Beitian exclaimed. The North Beast, Yu Linglong, and Han Fei were also shocked. What they did not know was that Lin was currently experiencing a great battle, a battle of life and death. Amidst the chaotic nothingness, the black lotus blossomed with a demonic light that covered the sky and the earth. It completely enveloped Lin Xian and the tablet spirit. The monument spirit resisted with all its might. It had been sealed all these years, but it was still able to survive. At this moment, Black Lotus was exerting its power, and he could not exert much power. At the same time, it was very worried that Lin Xian was sealed here. If that was really the case, then his last hope would be gone. Fortunately, although Lin Xian was surrounded by layers of black lotuses, he was not sealed. There was an aura in the other party's body that blocked the black lotus. It could even destroy these black lotuses. The monument spirit knew that there was no time to lose. It had to impart its inheritance to the other party. Finally, it gathered all its power and shot out a ray of black light that entered Lin Xian's glabella. What I can give you is not a peerless cultivation technique or a powerful bloodline, but an opportunity to comprehend heaven and earth. It is like a seed that has taken root and sprouted in your body. Now, you can leave. Thank you, Senior. I will definitely comprehend it as soon as possible and become a sage. When that time comes, I will come back and destroy these black lotuses. No, come back after becoming the arch. At least a boundary the arch. Otherwise, don't come here again. They will definitely be vigilant after letting you escape this time. In the future, you must be more careful on the ancient starry sky path. A boundary the arch? I understand. Lin Xian nodded solemnly. Then he felt a huge force pushing him out. Outside, everyone was waiting anxiously. The full moon peak's peak master, the Grand Elder, and many other prodigies were all looking at Lin Xian. Lin Xian had been trembling for 3 days. Would he succeed? Or would he fail? It was the last moment. Buzz. Suddenly, Lin Xian's body stopped trembling. There was even a layer of hazy black light emitting from his body with a primordial aura that shocked everyone. Could it be? Everyone opened their mouths wide in disbelief. Many people held their breaths. Could it be that this kid succeeded? Impossible! Damn it, he can't succeed. The black demon roared. In his heart, the Grand Elder, the full moon peak's peak master, and the others were extremely excited. It seemed that this kid was about to wake up. Did he succeed? It was unlikely. After all, no one had been able to comprehend it for tens of thousands of years. Even if he was the successor of the great dragon, there was probably only a 10% chance. It was just that he would not be injured like Huangfu Beitian and the Black Demon. It seemed like that was indeed the case. The full moon peak was really unlucky this time. No one could comprehend the full moon wordless steel. It was impossible for them to make a comeback. They would always be at the bottom of the 4 peaks. The people from the other 3 peaks sneered. Although they had failed, they were incomparably happy. Hearing this, the elders, prodigies, and powerhouses of the full moon peak were disappointed. Even Lin Xian was going to fail? Then, was there really no hope for them? After all, Lin Xian was the successor of the great dragon of this generation. More importantly, as soon as he came to the full moon lake, he caused the 9 heavy waves, exactly the same as Yi Gucheng back then. Furthermore, he had only been in the moon palace for 2 hours, and he had already condensed the moon's soul. This had already surpassed Yi Gucheng. Even so, they could not comprehend the full moon wordless steel. They could not believe it. The full moon peak's peak master had a solemn expression. The other 3 peak masters also sighed. They had also guessed why the full moon wordless steel was so difficult to comprehend. Although it was difficult in the past, there were also peerless geniuses who could comprehend it. However, in the past tens of thousands of years, no one could comprehend it. At that time, they had used all their means, and even the old mansion master had come. However, in the end, they could not completely discover the secret of the full moon wordless steel. However, the old mansion master said that there seemed to be some problems with the full moon wordless steel. But what exactly was the problem? Until now, these people still did not know. If Lin Xian was really defeated, it meant that the problem with the full moon wordless steel was getting worse and worse. From now on, no one would be able to comprehend it, and the full moon wordless steel would become a useless steel and no longer have any use. Just as everyone was in despair, mysterious runes suddenly surged out of Lin Xian's body. They were abnormally simple. Chapter 3058. However, it only existed for a moment before disappearing. But in the next moment, Lin Xian opened his eyes. The aura on his body erupted and shot into the sky. In his left eye, a golden moon appeared. It was extremely terrifying, and an incomparably terrifying moon's soul power emerged. As soon as this power appeared, everyone in the surroundings trembled. What a pure moon soul power! Damn it! How could this kid's moon soul be so powerful? He had only been here for a few months. Everyone went crazy, and those elders were also discussing. The first elder was stunned, and in the next moment he became excited. The full moon peak's peak master's eyes burst out with a piercing cold light. Around him, endless laws danced, transforming into the image of dragons and phoenixes. Could it be that the other party succeeded? Such a thought appeared in their minds. Because previously, when Huangfu Beitian and He Mo failed, their faces were pale, and they vomited blood. But now, although Lin Xian opened his eyes, he was not injured at all. Not only that, but a mysterious aura and terrifying runes appeared on his body, as well as this powerful moon soul. This was definitely the scene of success. According to the records of the House of Prodigy, when Yi Gucheng succeeded, it seemed to be the same scene. Could it be that this kid really succeeded? What? How is this possible? Exclamations and screams sounded one after another. This kid was going to defy the heavens. He was going to poke a hole in the sky. How many tens of thousands of years had he finally comprehended something that no one had comprehended? Was he still human? This kid could no longer be described with words. Everyone was stunned. At this moment, the first elder was excited, and the peak master laughed loudly. Yi Fei, Xueling, Wang Ji, and the others exclaimed. Huangfu Beitian was also stunned. Did he succeed? He did not expect Lin Xian to succeed. Hei Mo, who was at the side, directly spat out a mouthful of old blood and fainted. He fainted from anger because he had never expected that the other party would succeed. Did this guy really succeed? After tens of thousands of years, someone had comprehended the full moon, wordless steel. The other three peak masters were also extremely shocked. Although they were already sages, this matter still shocked them. Their hearts that had been calm for thousands of years were also surging. Ha ha ha! That's great. There's finally hope for my full moon peak. The peak master of Full Moon Peak also laughed heartily. The first elder and the other elders were trembling with excitement. Yi Fei, Xueling, Luya, and the others gathered around. Did you really comprehend the moongazer wordless steel? What kind of miraculous cultivation technique was that? Can you describe it? Can you use it now? These people were chattering. The black demon had woken up and was also watching anxiously. He gritted his teeth and said, "Damned kid, I don't believe that you've really comprehended it." Lin Xian glanced at the black demon and said indifferently, "Of course, I comprehended it. You don't say. It's really magical. As for using it, not now. This place is too small. When I have the chance, I will show it to you personally." Hearing Huang Xiaolong's words, Xueling, Yi Fei, and the rest were stunned. The corner of Huangfu Baiqian's mouth twitched as he sighed. Black Demon was so angry that he spat out another mouthful of blood. In the end, he felt like he was going crazy. Who would have thought that this little fellow would actually be able to comprehend it? Congratulations. The other three peak masters came to congratulate the Full Moon Peak Master. The Full Moon Peak Master laughed. This was an unexpected surprise. Speaking of this, his eyes shone brightly. You guys have been living too comfortably for the past few years. This time, I will show you the strength of the Full Moon Peak. Hearing this, the ethereal peak master laughed. Don't be too proud. Although this little fellow has obtained the qualifications, it won't be easy for him to comprehend it completely. As for the competition between the four peaks, it wouldn't be long before it began. It won't be easy for them to make a comeback then. Indeed, Lin Xian wouldn't be able to comprehend it in such a short period of time. Even Yi Gucheng didn't manage to comprehend it completely, otherwise he wouldn't have died. However, while the ethereal peak didn't care, the divine strategy peak felt the pressure. Lin Xian was too much of a freak and too strong. He might really be able to make it to the top in the competition between the four peaks. Although he might not be able to get first place, it wasn't impossible for him to get third place. This way, the divine strategy peak would be at the bottom. The divine strategy peak would never allow such a thing to happen. The divine strategy peak master's eyes flickered. The elders and sky prides clenched their fists. They had to go into seclusion during this period of time so that they could prepare for the upcoming battles and competitions. Hearing the words of the peak masters, the other sky pride's eyes lit up. Lin Xian raised his head and clenched his fists. The competition between the four peaks? That's good too. I can see how the geniuses of the other peaks are like. At the same time, his gaze pierced through the clouds and looked into the distance. At this moment, the full moon peak was slowly closing, and the full moon wordless monument was gradually disappearing into the shadows of the mountain. Don't worry, senior. I will come back to save you one day, Lin Xian said in his heart. This was the agreement between him and the monument spirit. In the sky, the laws danced, and the peak masters of the four peaks disappeared. The Grand Elder and the other elders also left. This was because they had to make preparations for the upcoming competition between the four peaks. Only the young sky prides and monsters were left in this world. Instantly, countless gazes fell on Lin Xian. There was envy and jealousy. It couldn't be helped. No one had managed to comprehend the full moon, wordless monument for tens of thousands of years, but this guy had managed to do so. It really made people jealous to death. The black demon had fainted a few times from anger. Huangfu Beitian was also extremely envious. Even the northern monster, Yuling Long, and Han Fei had strange gazes. Had the other party's talent surpassed theirs? As peerless sky prides, they were unwilling to admit such a thing. Qing Wu was even more furious. She came in front of Lin Xian and said, in a sweet voice, "You are so lucky to be able to comprehend the full moon, wordless monument. Hurry up and show it to me. Let me see how powerful this legendary thing is." Hearing this, everyone's interest was piqued. That's right. The full moon, wordless monument was so legendary. How powerful was it? None of them knew. The people from the other three peaks were the same. They also wanted to know how different the full moon, wordless monument was compared to the sky monument of their peaks. The corners of Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile as he looked at the fuming little girl. He said indifferently, "This is a peerless divine ability. How can I let you see it so easily? This is my trump card. Moreover, this place is too small. Wait until the competition between the four peaks. At that time, you will see it in the competition arena." Hearing this, everyone exclaimed. Qing Wu was furious. "Damn it, don't be so arrogant. What are you so proud of? Even if you comprehend the full moon, wordless monument, you can't beat my brother this time. Humph, let's wait and see." Chapter 3059. Is that so? Lin Xian shifted his gaze away from Qing Wu and looked into the distance at the tall and slender man with a demonic appearance. Is that the northern beast? It was his first time meeting him. The northern beast also looked down from the sky and met Lin Xian's gaze. Boom, boom. The whole place began to shake vigorously. Above the 9 heavens, endless energy surged and the void cracked. Everyone felt suffocated. How powerful! Their gazes collided, and such power was actually released. Even Huangfu Beitian was shocked. Yu Linglong and Han Fei also stared at Lin Xian. "Northern Beast, we finally meet." Lin Xian said with a smile, "I've heard of your reputation, but I didn't expect to meet you here." Indeed, the Northern Beast was as famous as Lin Xian Yi Wudao and the others a long time ago. He was known as one of the 5 heroes. However, he was too mysterious and had never appeared. Lin Xian didn't expect him to have joined the House of Prodigy. "I've also heard of your reputation. You stopped the Dark Chaos and killed many Archean paragons. You're also known as the Middle Emperor," the Northern Beast said loudly. Lin Xian looked at the other 2 figures in the sky. One of them was a woman, and the other was a young man. Their auras were very strong, and they seemed to be the strongest of Linglong Peak and Divine Strategy Peak. However, he frowned slightly. Why was there one person missing? He looked at the Northern Beast again and asked curiously, "Where was Yen Nantian?" Yen Nantian, the male emperor, was as famous as him. How could he not come to such a scene? Yen Nantian had already left Ethereal Peak and stepped on the ancient path of the starry sky. He had left in advance. Hearing this, Lin Xian was stunned. He didn't expect Yen Nantian to leave. However, it made sense. Yen Nantian had obtained the inheritance of the great emperor and must know some secrets of the ancient path of the starry sky. He would be a peerless enemy on the ancient path of the starry sky in the future. At the same time, Lin Xian wondered how Qingchun was doing. There was also Leaf Dowdenier, as well as a few other top-tier geniuses. Among the human race, there were quite a number of top geniuses who did not join the House of Prodigy. Instead, they took other paths to reach the ancient road to the starry sky. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xian didn't want to think about it anymore. Next, he began to prepare with all his might for the competition between the four peaks. Becoming a great emperor and reaching the peak had always been his dream. Moreover, he felt the pressure. He once again saw the mysterious Black Lotus. Back then, Yi Gucheng had also comprehended the Moongazer wordless steel. However, he was still killed on the starry sky ancient path. He was afraid that those mysterious enemies would continue to deal with him. Therefore, he had to improve his strength. Otherwise, let alone becoming a great emperor, it was very likely that he would be killed on the ancient path. After that, everyone left. There were only a few months left before the competition between the four peaks. These people wanted to make the final breakthrough. Obtaining a good ranking in the competition of the four great peaks would allow one to receive a reward from the House of Prodigies. The reward was even more generous than the reward given to each mountain. Everyone was tempted. Even the North Demon and the others were preparing with all their might. This time, the participants of the competition were the top 10 of each mountain. Lin Xian had obtained second place last time, so he was naturally qualified. The North Demon, Huangfu Beitian, and the other top prodigies had already begun to cultivate in seclusion. Lin Xian didn't cultivate in seclusion because he had just obtained the enlightenment seed from the Moongazer wordless steel. Naturally, he wanted to comprehend heaven and earth. Lin Xian had long been able to use the power of heaven and earth. With a raise of his hand, he could mobilize endless spirit qi and transform it into all kinds of divine abilities. This kind of power seemed very powerful, but Lin Xian now knew that this was only the power on the surface. He hadn't comprehended the most fundamental power at all, because he knew that the fundamental power was the laws. It was Tao. Once comprehended, one would surpass the king level and become a saint. As for the laws, there were many. The laws of wind, the laws of clouds, the laws of water, the laws of fire, and all sorts of other powers contained laws. The more laws one comprehended, the stronger one's strength would be. Of course, with the current state of Lin Xian and the others, they definitely wouldn't be able to comprehend a single law. Not to mention one, they wouldn't be able to comprehend a single one that was exclusive to saints. Why were the runes carved by saints more powerful than the runes they obtained? Because the runes carved by saints all contained the comprehension of heaven and earth. That was Tao, something that was naturally incomparably powerful. Lin Xian now had the enlightenment seed, so he knew more. Of course, he knew that even if he had the seed, it was impossible for him to instantly comprehend the laws. Unless he had the legendary Tao physique. Although he was powerful, he didn't have such a physique, so he had to take his time to comprehend. First, he had to condense a few runes that belonged to him according to his comprehension of heaven and earth, and then slowly improve. Even so, he believed his speed was still a lot faster than most of the top geniuses and geniuses. After all, the seeds left behind by the Moongazer wordless steel were very useful. Lin Xian now felt that there were many differences between heaven and earth. More importantly, because his moon spirit was condensed in his left eye, Lin Xian might as well plant the Moongazer seed in his left eye. At this moment, he used the heavenly secret god eyes, coupled with the effect of the Moongazer seed. Lin Xian felt that the entire world had changed. Between heaven and earth, there were even mysterious runes that appeared. This was something that he couldn't see at all before. This was Tao runes? Lin Xian exclaimed. Lin Xian had been sitting cross-legged in his courtyard, motionless like a rock. Just like that, 2 months passed. During this period, Shen Jingqiu came once and was shocked. She thought that Lin Xian had some problems with his cultivation, but after the Crimson Dragon explained, Shen Jingqiu heaved a sigh of relief and left the courtyard. She was also going into seclusion. This little girl was also very extraordinary. With her spirit body, she fought her way into the top 10 of the Linglong Valley and would also participate in the next competition. Not long after Shen Jingqiu left, Lin Xian's eyes suddenly burst with a cold light. With a wave of his arm, he drew a line on the ground. Although there was only one line that looked like a sword mark, the Crimson Dragon was shocked, because from it he felt an inexplicable aura. This kid was really comprehending heaven and earth. No, Ben Huang also had to comprehend the great magical power of the Dragon Clan. In the Crimson Dragon's memory, there was the inheritance of the Dragon Clan. Therefore, he also began to cultivate in seclusion. Just as Lin Xian and others were cultivating in seclusion, something happened in the Extraordinary Scholar's Mansion. The Extraordinary Scholar's Mansion was a place that led to the ancient starry sky path in the true spirit world. In the myriad worlds, there were many existences like Qiao Huifu, but there were differences in strength. And the closest star to the true spirit world, the heavenly cloud mansion on the hero planet, came. In the true spirit world, most people didn't know about the existence of the myriad worlds, but the people in the Extraordinary Scholar's Mansion knew. Chapter 3060, especially the hero star, because it was relatively close to the true spirit world. It had been here more than once. Of course, the other party didn't come as a guest, but as a provocation. Whether it was the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion or the Heavenly Cloud Mansion, they would eventually embark on the Ancient Star Road to compete for the title of Great Emperor. Therefore, between the two sides, there was naturally competition. When there was competition, there would naturally be fighting. Logically speaking, the true spirit world was called the Source Star, which was a very special star in the starry sky universe. It should be famous in all the worlds, and those worlds should be in awe. However, this wasn't the case, because the true spirit world hadn't had a great emperor for many years. Moreover, its strength and influence had gradually weakened. It was far inferior to the legendary buried Emperor Star. In the end, because too many powerhouses had left, the strength of the true spirit world had become ordinary. Therefore, even an existence like the hero star could come and challenge. Of course, under normal circumstances, the hero star couldn't beat the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. However, this time, the hero star had a few new geniuses, so it couldn't wait to come and show off. For this kind of provocation, these geniuses of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were used to it. Therefore, not many people paid attention to it. However, a few days later, the results of the battle made these people's faces change drastically. What? Our House of Prodigy actually lost? Damn it, how is this possible? Although the Heavenly Cloud Mansion has always been arrogant, it is still no match for our Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. This time, how could the other party possibly win? You don't know? Nonsense! I didn't watch that kind of battle at all. How could I know? Hurry up and tell us what happened. Many people were anxious. Some of the geniuses who went to watch the battle said, "You don't know how lucky the Heavenly Cloud Mansion is this time." Several geniuses came. Moreover, what's more abominable is that they are all newcomers. They are very strong and we didn't guard against them. Therefore, we were defeated one after another. Now, the people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion are arrogant there. What? How dare they be arrogant in our territory? How hateful! Let's go and meet them. Many people gritted their teeth in anger. However, after half a day, these people came back with their tails between their legs. Even more shocking news came. The Extraordinary Warrior Mansion lost again, and it was a series of crushing defeats. Apart from Qing Wu's victory and Zhong Lingxiu's victory on the Full Moon Peak, they had lost all the other battles. The people of the Heavenly Clouds Mansion mocked him. Were there only women left in the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion? Where did all those men go? Damn it! Why are these people from the Heavenly Clouds Mansion so arrogant? If it weren't for the fact that the Northern Yao, Yu Linglong, and Han Fei were in seclusion, would these people have the right to be so arrogant? That's right, Huangfu Beitian, the Black Demon, and the others are also in seclusion. Even Yi Fei, Xueling, Wang Qi, and the others went into seclusion. This was because they had to prepare for the upcoming competition. If these Sky Prides were not in seclusion, any one of them would be able to defeat them. Why do I feel like they're doing this on purpose? They know that most of us are in seclusion at this time, so they're here to provoke us? Damn it, the Heavenly Clouds Mansion is too despicable. Many people gritted their teeth. Fortunately, Qin Wu and Zhong Linxiu were here. The two of them were enough to withstand this situation. That won't do. Didn't they say that we only have women left? We must find a few men to suppress them. Otherwise, if this news spreads to the ancient path of the stars, the disciples of the extraordinary warrior mansion won't be able to show their faces in the future. Many people gritted their teeth and contacted the Sky Prides of their respective peaks. Although the competition between the four peaks was very fierce, it was also an internal matter of the extraordinary warrior mansion. Although they were from different peaks, they were all geniuses of the extraordinary warrior mansion. Now that the people of the Heavenly Clouds Mansion were here, they naturally had to unite against them. Oh, no, they're all in seclusion. Moreover, we can't send any messages at all. Yes, the powerful ones are in seclusion, and those who aren't in seclusion can't defeat those people. What should we do? How many people haven't been found? Lin Xian hasn't been found yet. Let's go and have a look. Everyone went to the manor where Lin Xian was. They didn't have much hope because, in their opinion, Lin Xian might have been in seclusion, and they couldn't even send any messages. However, when they arrived nearby, they were all stunned. Was the person sitting cross-legged below Lin Xian? Yes, it's him. Is he in seclusion? No, why would he be in seclusion in such a place? Is it easy to be disturbed? That was indeed the case. Although there was an array around, it was still too dangerous, so everyone was very puzzled. At this moment, the Crimson Dragon flew out. What do you want? His face was filled with hostility. After all, Lin Xian was cultivating now, and no one was allowed to disturb him. Seeing the Crimson Dragon come out, these people were shocked. However, they still recounted what had happened outside to him. Hearing this, the Crimson Dragon frowned. You mean people from other stellar realms came to provoke us? Damn, they're really arrogant. I really want to roast them and eat them. We're here to find Lin Xian and see if he can help us. I don't think he can do it. How about I do it for you? Ben Wang's fee is not high. I'll help you if you give me a half-step sacred artifact. What? These Sky Prides were so angry that they vomited blood. A half-step sacred artifact each? You're too greedy. This dragon is too unreliable. That's right, we better find Lin Xian. Everyone hurriedly shook their heads and looked down again. Damn, Ben Huang has already given you a discount. If anyone else asked me to do it, I'd ask for a sacred artifact. Hearing this, the faces of the surrounding Sky Prides became even darker. This is definitely a greedy dragon. Below, Lin Xian raised his head and looked at the sky, his eyes shining. His seclusion was very different. He had been using the heavenly secret divine eyes and the plenilune seed to observe the entire world. Therefore, when those people came, he knew immediately. When he heard the reason for these people's arrival, he frowned slightly. Originally, he didn't want to do it. After all, he was comprehending heaven and earth. However, when he heard the words Heavenly Cloud Mansion, his eyebrows twitched. Previously in the ruins, Lin Xian had a conflict with a group of people. At that time, that group of people seemed to be from Heavenly Cloud Mansion. Therefore, Lin Xian was a little tempted. Well, let me see what kind of existence Heavenly Cloud Mansion is. Lin Xian decided to do it. He stood up, waved his hand, and removed the array around him, and said loudly, "Needless to say, I can do it. Boy, are you going?" The Crimson Dragon was surprised. When the people in the distance heard this, they were first stunned, then they cheered. Is Lin Xian going to do it? Chapter 3061. Oh, God, he's really going to make a move. Great. With Lin Xian's help, those people from Heavenly Cloud Mansion would definitely die. These people were really overjoyed. In the past few days, they had been defeated, which made them feel very sullen. Now they could finally turn the tables around and hold their heads high. Lead the way, Lin Xian said lightly after hearing this. The Sky Prides in the distance were extremely excited and quickly led the way. When the Crimson Dragon saw this scene, he sighed, but then he also became excited. Looks like there's going to be some fun to watch. He also followed behind Lin Xian, and the group set off into the distance. Many people gathered on the huge and magnificent square of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. Most of these people were Sky Prides from the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. At this moment, their expressions were abnormally gloomy, and many of them even had a ferocious and murderous look on their faces. In a corner of the square, there was also a group of people standing there. These people were also outstanding and had a strong aura. However, the rune marks on their clothes were obviously different from those of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. They should be from Heavenly Cloud Mansion. In the arena, two figures were fighting, and one of the Sky Prides from Full Moon Peak was from the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion. It was Yusong. Yusong danced with a long spear, emitting a biting cold light, and charged forward. His opponent was a young man in a white robe, holding a folding fan in his hand. The folding fan was like a dragon flying and a phoenix dancing on it. At this moment, when he saw the purple long spear coming at him, he sneered and waved the folding fan in front of him lightly. An amazing scene appeared. This time, it directly hit the purple long spear, and a beam of dazzling light burst out. It was extremely terrifying. The purple long spear was directly shaken off. Then Yusong was kicked, and his body flew out upside down. Lost again. Even Yusong lost. The faces of the people from the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were extremely ugly. Damn it, I don't believe it. Who the hell is that guy? What's so magical about the folding fan in his hand? Yusong was an expert from Full Moon Peak. Although he wasn't ranked in the top 10, he was still extremely terrifying. They didn't expect him to be defeated so quickly. The faces of the people from the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were extremely ugly. On the other side, the Heavenly Clouds Mansion's people burst into laughter. Ha ha! Another one of them had been defeated. How many had he lost? Brother Xianyun is truly amazing. Of course, Brother Xianyun was a peerless genius. How could a mere extraordinary scholar manner possibly have someone who could defeat him? Let the two women come out. But unfortunately, they were no match for Brother Xianyun. The House of Prodigy was truly pitiful. They had actually fallen to the point where a woman had to stand up for herself. What origin planet? I reckon that this is only a legend. If you truly take yourself seriously, you simply are not our Hero Star's opponent. The people from the Heavenly Clouds Mansion were extremely arrogant. Hearing this, the Extraordinary Warrior Manor was so angry that they wanted to vomit blood. Many people went crazy. Damn it, let's fight. F***CK, don't be impulsive. We've already lost more than 10 rounds. If we continue to lose, we'll be completely disgraced. Indeed, he could not be impulsive. Let's wait a little longer and see if anyone else is coming. Io, what's wrong? You don't dare to come up? No way. He doesn't even have the courage to make a move. Not only are you weak in strength, but your courage is also lacking. I advise you to obediently go home and farm. Don't go to the Starry Sky Road. You'll only be cannon fodder if you go there. The Heavenly Clouds Mansion became even more arrogant. In front of them, the man called Xianyun was waving a folding fan in his hand. His face was cold and arrogant, as if he didn't put anyone in his eyes. Damn it, I'll go. Qing Wu was furious when she saw this scene. Previously, she had won 2 rounds. But after she joined the battle, the extraordinary warrior manners side lost one after another. Especially when Xian Yun came up, no one could defeat him. Now, the other party was so arrogant in the territory of the extraordinary warrior manner, she really couldn't stand it anymore. The surrounding people also couldn't stand it anymore. Seeing that Qing Wu was about to come out again, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion immediately sneered. What? Are you really going to let a woman stand up for you? Are all the men in the extraordinary warrior manner dead? It seems that the extraordinary warrior manner of your generation is really trash. Those people sneered. Xian Yun looked forward. When he saw Qing Wu, his eyes suddenly lit up and the corner of his mouth raised into a smile. What a beautiful girl. You want to fight with me? Sure. But I wonder if you can make a bet with me. What do you want to fight? Qing Wu snorted coldly. Xian Yun waved his folding fan and said with a smile, If I win, how about you be my woman? As soon as these words came out, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion burst into laughter. Yes, 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 Brother Xian Yun is good. Little girl, our Brother Xian Yun is a peerless genius, the future hope of the Heavenly Clouds mansion. It's not a loss for you to be his woman. Not only is it not a loss, you're in luck. Hurry up and agree. This extraordinary scholar Manner really suffered a double loss after trying to lure the bride. Damn it. What did he say? How dare he have designs on Qing Wu? The eyes of the Sky Prides from the extraordinary warrior Manner turned red. Xian Yun had defeated and humiliated them, and now he wanted to snatch their number one beauty. Damn it, let's fight it out. Yu Song, Sita Xiaotian, and the others gritted their teeth with a ferocious expression. The Sky Prides from the other peaks also had red eyes. Qing Wu's face was cold as she trembled in anger. How dare this despicable guy have designs on her? Who does he think he is? How dare he have designs on her? Sure enough, the Sky Prides from the ethereal peak snorted. Do you want to die? Qing Wu is the Northern Demon's sister. If you dare to talk nonsense again, the Northern Demon will kill all of you when he comes out. Hearing this, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were stunned. They had heard of the Northern Demon's name before. He was D.E. from the extraordinary warrior manner. Xian Yun narrowed his eyes. Northern Demon's sister? That's even better. Be my woman, and I'll spare your brother's life in the future. Otherwise, I'll kill your brother on my way to becoming a great emperor. After saying that, a terrifying light bloomed from his body and shot up into the sky. Despicable guy. I'm going to tear your mouth apart. Qing Wu was furious. How dare this guy look down on her brother? She couldn't stand it. In the next moment, she came to the front. Her delicate face was filled with coldness. With a shout, her body shone brightly, and the whole world was illuminated by her. Qing Wu was going to make her move. The people from the extraordinary warrior manner held their breath. On the other hand, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were also watching nervously. Although they were talking nonsense, they didn't dare to be careless. After all, Qing Wu had easily defeated their geniuses in the previous few battles. Not only was she a peerless beauty, but she was also a powerful Sky Pride. Buzz, with a shout, she waved her jade-like hand, and the light in the sky turned into a giant dragon. It roared and tore forward. This move was extremely terrifying. Chapter 3062. Humph! When Xian Yun saw this scene, he snorted coldly. The aura on his body also became fierce, and his entire body erupted with an earth-shattering power. Buzz! He waved the folding fan in his hand and fiercely smashed it on the giant dragon phantom in the sky. With a loud bang, the sound shook the sky, and the entire world shook. The giant dragon phantom was sent flying, turning into countless spirit chi, and dissipating in the sky. You're not bad, but you're still not my match. So, Obediently become my woman. Xian Yun sneered. What? He blocked it. He actually managed to block this attack. Damn it. How can he be so strong? The people on the side of the extraordinary warrior manor felt their hearts rise again. Previously, when Qing Wu attacked, she could easily defeat her opponent, but now it seemed that Qing Wu had encountered a difficult opponent. This guy's fan is so strange. Qing Wu also frowned. She could naturally see that the folding fan in the other party's hand was very unusual and had a mysterious power. Don't be arrogant. I didn't use my full strength just now. Qing Wu snorted coldly, and the aura on her body erupted again. On the opposite side, Xian Yun's face darkened. Little girl, it seems that if I don't show you my true strength, you won't know how powerful I am. Fine, I'll let you experience it. The folding fan in his hand emitted a mysterious light. Runes revolved around it, and a violent energy erupted from it. As the fan waved, a violent wind blew between heaven and earth, as if it was an astral wind outside the realm. The geniuses in the distance all changed, and their faces turned ugly. What kind of fan is this? This storm is too strong. Invincible kings can't block it at all. Sure enough, Qing Wu also suffered the impact of this violent wind. She snorted and spat out a shield, which circled around her and turned into 18 light shadows. In just an instant, the shield and the 18 light shadows were blown away, and Qing Wu also suffered a strong wind blade attack. What kind of storm is this? Qing Wu didn't dare to be careless at all. She maintained her king's domain and kept retreating. The king's domain fought against the storm that filled the sky, and a deafening sound rang out. Qing Wu's qi and blood surged as she retreated far away. Ha 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 ha, little beauty. Did you see that? I only used a trace of my true strength, and you can't withstand it. So, you're not my match at all. Be obedient and become my woman. I will let you enjoy endless glory. After following me, you will be the happiest woman in the world. Xian Yun said proudly. Bah! Qing Wu was so angry that her face turned black and her whole body trembled. How could there be such a shameless person? Why was he even more despicable than that Lin brat? Damned guy, don't underestimate me. I'll let you taste my ultimate move. Mysterious bloodlines appeared on her body. Clearly, he had activated his bloodline power. His palms formed a seal, and a resonant sound rang out from all directions. Light flickered below, and blood-red runes soared into the air, turning into 81 saber shadows that instantly enveloped the entire square. 81 giant beasts soared into the sky. Each of them was like a primordial beast. Although they were phantoms, they emitted an incomparably terrifying aura. The northern demons had the body of 10,000 demons. Qing Wu was the north demon's little sister. Although she did not have the 10,000 demon body, her bloodline power was still extremely terrifying. Now that he had erupted, he was truly ridiculously strong. Bloodline power? If you are your brother, then I will turn around and leave. But is it you? You are still far from it. Xian Yun sneered. The fan in his hand also erupted with terrifying fluctuations, and a ball of resplendent light shone from above. That aura made all the surrounding monstrous geniuses tremble. It was too terrifying. There was definitely something wrong with that fan. Damn it, could it be a sacred artifact? Impossible. No matter how strong he was, he could not move a sacred artifact. Then it must be a half-step sacred artifact. Moreover, it was very likely to be a half-step sacred artifact personally refined by a sage. Otherwise, it would not be so terrifying. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding 81 phantoms emitted a terrifying light, blocking the strange fan. A bloodline secret technique versus a super powerful half-step sacred artifact. The moment these two attacks erupted, the entire world was instantly annihilated. Not good. Retreat quickly. Everyone screamed in fright and retreated frantically. On the square of the extraordinary warrior's residence, formations also erupted, enveloping heaven and earth. This place was not simple. No matter how powerful these people's abilities were, they could not destroy it. Everyone retreated to the area enveloped by the formations and watched in fear. There was a sea of light in front of them, and they could not see clearly at all. They could only hear earth-shattering collisions. Would Qingwu win? They did not know. That guy's fan was too terrifying. They did not know if Qingwu's bloodline power could withstand it. Yes, Qingwu was still too young. If it was her brother, the North Demon, he would be able to defeat him easily without using his bloodline power. On the other side, the eyes of the people of the heavenly cloud mansion flickered. Many of them were worried, because the power that Qingwu displayed was indeed very powerful. However, at this time, a blue-clothed man said coldly, "Don't worry, the swan fan in Xianyun's hand is not simple. He will not be defeated unless the top geniuses of the heavenly cloud mansion take action." Hearing this, the people of the heavenly cloud mansion laughed because they knew that the top geniuses of the heavenly cloud mansion were all in seclusion. It was impossible for them to come out now. In front of them, the fierce collisions did not last long. The phantoms of demonic beasts roared crazily, and then a dozen of them collapsed. A figure was also sent flying out. Qingwu's face was extremely pale, and there was even a trace of blood at the corner of her mouth. Not good. Qingwu was injured. The people of the extraordinary warrior mansion screamed crazily, while the people of the heavenly cloud mansion laughed. It was just as they had expected. As I said, "You're no match for me." Xianyun walked out and stretched out his hand, locking onto Qingwu. Qingwu's face became extremely pale. If she was caught by him, she would lose for sure. Buzz. Her eyes were bloodshot. She formed a seal with her palms and was about to cast a powerful secret technique, although it was difficult for her to cast it with her current strength, and it was even very dangerous. She could no longer hold back. However, as soon as she moved, a terrifying aura spread out in the sky. It instantly turned into a dazzling light and fell from the sky. With a clang, it pierced through Xianyun's big hand. The spiritual energy palm that was formed by Xianyun was instantly turned into ashes. Not only that, but the light also charged toward Xianyun. Xianyun's face changed. He waved the swan fan in his hand, creating a terrifying storm to block the light. At the same time, he retreated. His face was gloomy, and his eyes were emitting a cold light. "Who is it? How dare you stop me?" On the other side, Qingwu heaved a sigh of relief. She was saved. She was surprised. Who was it who could force Xianyun to retreat? She had experienced how terrifying the other party was. Now, there was someone who could force Xianyun to retreat with a light. This was absolutely incredible. Could it be that her brother had come out? No, she was familiar with her brother's aura. It was not her brother. Then who was it? Yuling Long? Han Fei? Or Huangfu Beitian? She did not know. Chapter 3063. Not only her, but the people of the extraordinary warrior mansion were also shocked. The people of the heavenly cloud mansion were also shocked. For a moment, countless eyes looked towards the sky. A red-robed young man was standing in the sky like an immortal. "It's him. Who is this kid?" Both sides exclaimed. The people of the extraordinary warrior mansion exclaimed in excitement. The people of the heavenly cloud mansion had a strange look on their faces. It wasn't the North Beast, Yuling Long, Han Fei, or Huangfu Beitian. Who is he? They had never seen him before. They knew the strongest person of the Four Peaks, but now the kid in front of them looked unfamiliar. "Who are you? How dare you attack me?" Xianyun also looked at the sky. His voice was filled with killing intent. If it wasn't for the sneak attack just now, he would have defeated Qing Wu and even made her his woman. He didn't expect that someone would interrupt such a good thing. It was unforgivable. Who are you? The red-robed young man was naturally Lin Xian. He rushed here from the courtyard and saw Qing Wu injured, and the other party was so strong. Therefore, he struck out a sword Qi and forced the other party to retreat. How dare you talk to Brother Xian Yun like that? Behind him, the sky prides of the heavenly cloud mansion also walked up and glared at him. One of them said coldly, "Let me tell you, this is the peerless genius of the heavenly cloud mansion. When you see him, you have to call him Lord Xian Yun." These people of the heavenly cloud mansion were very arrogant. Xian Yun? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes after hearing that. I've never heard of him. How talented is he? Humph, kid, what do you know? Let me tell you, Brother Xian Yun is less than 100 years old, and his strength has reached more than 60,000 archaic power. It's not a problem for him to defeat all of you. Isn't such a person considered a genius? That's right. Your extraordinary warrior mansion can't defeat Brother Xian Yun at all. It's the same no matter how many of you come. Kid, you're dead for interfering in Brother Xian Yun's matter. Hearing that, the people of the extraordinary warrior mansion fell silent. Indeed, Xian Yun was very talented and powerful. He could indeed defeat them. Lin Xian looked at Xian Yun after hearing that. So, you're quite talented. But have you ever heard of the phrase dying young? You dare to behave atrociously in the territory of the House of Prodigy? Do you believe that I will slaughter you? As soon as these words were spoken, the geniuses from the outstanding scholar manor could feel their lips twitching as their eyes widened. In the next moment, they became excited, as if they had been injected with chicken blood. The people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were stunned. They couldn't believe that he had died young. The other party dared to threaten them. Xian Yun's face sank, and his body trembled with rage. No one had ever dared to threaten him like this. Brat, who the hell are you? Me? I'm just a newbie. I just joined the House of Prodigy not long ago. Why don't I exchange a few moves with you? What? A newbie? The people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were even more dumbfounded. Since when were newcomers so arrogant? A mere newbie also dares to exchange blows with our brother Xian Yun? He really didn't know what death was. Brat, you are too arrogant. Dying young? Do you have the qualifications? Unless you're Northern Beast, you Ling Long, and the others come out, no one can beat our brother Xian Yun. These people once again became arrogant. They knew that the Northern Beast and the others couldn't come out for the time being, so they were so arrogant. On the other hand, the people from the House of Prodigy had a strange look on their faces. Lin Xian was indeed a newbie. However, Lin Xian was not an ordinary newbie. As soon as he arrived, he caused the 9 heavy waves, defeated the Hei Mo, and won the second place of the Full Moon Peak. Not long ago, he had successfully comprehended the full moon wordless stele. This was something that the geniuses of tens of thousands of years couldn't do. However, Lin Xian did it one by one. How could such a person be an ordinary newbie? Damn, the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion were still so arrogant. Thinking of this, the people from the House of Prodigy became excited. This Lin Xian was too evil. Yes, he was so strong, but he didn't say anything about it. Xian Yun sounded like a genius, but compared to Lin Xian, he was far from it. Far from it, there was no comparison at all. Lin Xian's talent was simply heaven-defying. Did you think that anyone could comprehend the full moon wordless stele? For tens of thousands of years, how many geniuses had failed? This kid was definitely a monster. Ha ha ha! Why do I feel that the people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion are going to be unlucky? That's for sure. Offending Lin Xian, they would definitely end up in a miserable state. Especially that Xian Yun. Just wait, he will definitely regret it. Haha, I'm really looking forward to Lin Xian's fight. I wonder how much his strength has improved in the past few months. This guy is really insidious. Qing Wu also curled her lips. However, he had just saved her, so she didn't want to argue with him. On the opposite side, the people from the heavenly clouds mansion sneered and continued to clamor. Newbie, get lost. Your geniuses can't even beat him. And you want to fight with our brother Xian Yun? Xian Yun's face also darkened. Ignorant ant, get lost. Someone like you is not worthy of my fight. Is that so? Lin Xian descended from the sky and said slowly, how about this? Let's make a bet. What do you want to bet? Xian Yun frowned and asked. He wasn't very interested. Lin Xian smiled and said, let's fight. If you win, this woman will become your woman. While speaking, Lin Xian pointed at Qing Wu. Qing Wu's eyes widened, and her body trembled with anger. This guy dared to use her as a wager? He's really too hateful. Originally, she had a good impression of Lin Xian because he saved her, but now it was all gone. She bared her fangs and brandished her claws, wanting to pounce over and bite this guy to death. The people from the extraordinary warrior mansion were also stunned. Is Lin Xian going to make such a big bet? Won't it be a little dangerous? It seems that Lin Xian is very confident. Don't worry, we just need to watch the show. However, how come Qing Wu's complexion doesn't look very good? The people from the heavenly clouds mansion were even more stunned. Xian Yun's mouth raised into a smile. Are you serious? He looked at Lin Xian and at the same time stared at Qing Wu. Qing Wu's eyes were cold and she was about to explode. But she was stopped by Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, of course, my extraordinary warrior mansion has always been a man of his words. All right, I'll compete with you. Killing an ant is very simple. Xian Yun revealed a sinister smile. In his opinion, it was just a matter of raising his hand to kill the other party. At the same time, he didn't think that the light just now was shot out by the other party. Maybe it was a hidden elder of the extraordinary warrior mansion. Damn it, this group of old guys really don't follow the rules. They agreed so quickly? Lin Xian was surprised. Why don't you listen to what will happen if you lose? There's no need to listen, just name your conditions. Because I won't sell it. Xian Yun waved his hand, confidently. Chapter 3064. Great. Lin Xian smiled. Before he could speak, Qing Wu, who was next to him, stood out and said angrily, if you lose, kneel down and count out of me 3 times. At the same time, apologize to everyone in the House of Outstanding Scholars. This girl, Lin Xian shook his head. He hadn't said the conditions yet, but the other party had already said it. But it was good. The condition sounded good. Kowtow and apologize. For a genius, this was worse than killing him. However, the people of the House of Outstanding Scholars were extremely excited because the people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion were too arrogant. Not only did they come to humiliate them, saying that there were no men in the House of Outstanding Scholars, they even wanted to take Qing Wu as their concubine. Every single one of these things made them gnash their teeth in anger. Now that Qing Wu proposed such a condition, they were naturally happy. Yes, they wanted the other party to kowtow and apologize. Hearing this bet, the people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion frowned. It would be fine if they won, but what if they lost? What were they thinking? How could Brother Xian Yun lose? The other party was just a newcomer, not a peerless expert like the North Demon or Yulinglong. Indeed, if the North Demon made such a bet, Xian Yun would have left immediately. But how could a newcomer who had just entered the House of Outstanding Scholars have any strength? He probably hadn't even seen a big scene. Did he think that he was still a genius outside? Did he think that he could be arrogant in front of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion? The difference was too big. Therefore, Xian Yun agreed without hesitation. The people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion didn't stop him. In their opinion, this was a battle without any suspense. They estimated that Xian Yun could defeat the other party in one move. They didn't know why the people of the House of outstanding scholars agreed to it. Why did they let this kid stand out? Could it be that these people of the House of Outstanding Scholars had lost their minds because of too many failures? Who cares? Anyway, Qing Wu will be Brother Xian Yun's woman in the future. Kid, in that case, don't blame me for being rude. Xian Yun sneered. With a wave of his fan, a terrible storm suddenly covered the sky and the earth, as if it had crossed time and space, and rushed in front of Lin Xian. With a loud boom, a terrifying power erupted and engulfed Lin Xian in an instant. Boundless turbulence swept in all directions, obliterating everything. Not good. Seeing this scene, the eyelids of the experts from the Outstanding Warrior Mansion twitched violently. Damn it, this Xian Yun was really cautious. To actually execute that strange fan right from the start. From their point of view, Xian Yun might have been careless and allowed Lin Xian to launch a sneak attack. That's better. However, he didn't expect the other party to be so cautious. He wondered if Lin Xian would be able to withstand it. It shouldn't be a problem. His strength was super strong. After all, he could even defeat Hey Mo. The people from the House of Prodigy also calmed down a little. However, the horrifying scene in front of them still made their eyelids twitch wildly. The most nervous one was Qing Wu. Her small hands were white, and she was gnashing her teeth. Damned guy, you have to hold on for me. He wanted to defeat his opponent. Otherwise, I won't forgive you for the rest of my life. Indeed, Lin Xian had used her as collateral to bet with the other party. If he lost, Lin Xian would not lose anything, but she would be different. All right, this battle is over. Little girl, become my woman and come with me. After that blow, Xian Yun no longer paid attention to Lin Xian. In his opinion, the other party would definitely not be able to withstand this blow. Perhaps he would be directly blasted into pieces. He walked towards Qing Wu. Ha ha ha, this is too funny. Originally, I thought that this kid dared to stand out because he was a powerful character. I didn't expect that he couldn't even withstand a single blow. That was natural. What kind of power could a newcomer have? He was probably used to being called a genius outside. How dare he stand out in front of the House of Prodigy and our Heavenly Clouds mansion? He was really reckless. The people from Heavenly Clouds mansion disdained him. The people from the House of Prodigy were also nervous. What's going on? After such a long time, Lin Xian still hadn't come out? Could it be that there was an accident? No way. Lin Xian was injured? Or was there something special about that blow, just now, so that Lin Xian couldn't come out? For a moment, everyone was extremely nervous. Qing Wu's little face turned even uglier. Damn it, hurry up and come out. Seeing Xian Yun walking over, she snorted coldly, and a touch of blood appeared in her eyes again. Since the damn Lin Xian was unreliable, then she would do it herself. In short, she would not give in. I say, aren't you being too impatient? Do you think you can defeat me with a wave of your stupid fan? Have you been kicked in the head by a donkey? A disdainful voice sounded, causing everyone to be stunned. Xian Yun even stopped in his tracks, and his body was a little stiff. What's going on? He suddenly turned his head, and a terrifying light flashed in his eyes. The next moment, he screamed, "It's you? How is that possible?" He found that behind him stood a young man in a red robe who was his opponent. Wasn't his opponent enveloped by his attack? How could he appear behind him? Who was the one he hit just now? The other party was unharmed. For a moment, Xian Yun was a little confused. Not only him, but the people from Heavenly Clouds mansion were also stunned. This kid, damn it, how could he be so fast? Could it be that he dodged? No way. These people were also going crazy. The people from Extraordinary Warrior Mansion all breathed a sigh of relief. Great. I knew Lin Xian wouldn't be defeated. That's right. Who is Lin Xian? Just wait and see. Xian Yun is definitely going to be unlucky. At this moment, they became excited again. Qing Wu also breathed a sigh of relief. This guy was always so thrilling. She retreated to the side. She knew that with Lin Xian making a move, there should be no suspense in this battle. Xian Yun was strong and talented, but unfortunately, he encountered Lin Xian. I didn't expect you to be able to escape my attack. Kid, it seems that your speed is beyond my expectations. But do you think you can defeat me just because you're fast? You've angered me. So next, you'll have a taste of hell. Xian Yun walked up again. He decided that this time he would only stop when he saw his opponent being killed with his own eyes. Buzz. He waved the fan, emitting a vast aura, and struck out a terrifying storm that surged forward. The power this time was more violent than before. Moreover, the speed was very fast. Heaven and earth were completely sealed off. Kid, let's see how you're going to escape this time. Xian Yun revealed a sinister smile. Escape? Who said I'm going to escape? Lin Xian sneered, took a step forward, and the flames on his body surged into the sky, turning into a giant flame dragon that soared into the sky, resounding through the 9 heavens. Wherever the giant flame dragon passed, all the storms were swept away. The surrounding space was burning fiercely, and for a moment, the entire sky turned into a sea of fire. Boom! With a punch, the flames in the sky turned into a golden crow that descended from the sky, directly shrouding Xian Yun below. Chapter 3065. What? This kid is so strong. Those from the heavenly cloud mansion narrowed their eyes, and the blood in their bodies kept rolling. Many of them were so scared that they fell to the ground. Damn it. This kid is a ruthless person. It's over. We've been fooled. Those from the heavenly cloud mansion looked extremely ugly. They knew that they had underestimated the other party, the fact that he dared to come out, and those from the extraordinary warrior mansion did not stop and meant that the other party was not simple. They might have been deceived by the other party's reputation as a newcomer. Maybe he was also a super newcomer like Xian Yun. Xian Yun's pupils also shrank. He did not expect the other party to have such strength. Damn it, he was too careless. But so what? Even if the other party was a super newcomer, so what? Other than Bei Yao and the others, he did not put the other sky prides in his eyes. So in the next moment, he roared, Kid, you have completely angered me. Mysterious runes were emitted from his fan as it rushed up and collided with the terrifying golden crow's fist. With a bang, the entire void turned into dust, leaving nothing behind. A peerless formation instantly appeared on the ground under his feet. It blocked the terrifying aura. This energy rushed straight into the sky, leading to the outer realm and exploding in the outer realm. After the attack, the energy disappeared, and the light receded. The 2 figures appeared in front of them again, those from the extraordinary warrior mansion and the heavenly cloud mansion were watching nervously. Those from the extraordinary warrior mansion were very excited. Lin Xian, good job. Beat him up. Beat him up hard. Beat him up. Those from the heavenly cloud mansion looked gloomy. Damn it. Can this guy really compete with Xian Yun? This is not good news. Who is he? When did such a super newcomer appear in the extraordinary warrior mansion? Why didn't we get the news before? Could it be him? At this time, the man in blue also frowned. Who is Senior Brother Chin? Those around looked at the man in blue and asked carefully. They were in awe of the man in blue, and their respect was even higher than Xian Yun. They heard that a peerless genius had recently appeared in the extraordinary warrior mansion, who comprehended the plenilune wordless steel and created a legend for tens of thousands of years. Maybe it's this kid in front of them. What? Someone comprehended the plenilune wordless steel? Heavens, impossible! Wasn't that something that no one had comprehended for tens of thousands of years? Damn it, who the hell is this kid? How did he do it? These people were all stunned. they had naturally heard of the full moon wordless stele. Furthermore, they also knew that other than Yi Gucheng, who had comprehended it back then, Yi Gucheng had also comprehended it. For tens of thousands of years, no one had succeeded. Even people like the Northern Demon and Yu Linglong had attempted to do so, but they had all failed. In their eyes, the Moongazer wordless stele was only a legend. No one had ever been able to comprehend it. Perhaps it was just an ordinary stone tablet that had become a legend. But now, someone else had comprehended it. This was definitely a heaven-defying feat. Damn it, if it was really this brat, Xian Yun would most likely be in danger. That was indeed the case. The House of Prodigy is too despicable. How could such a terrifying genius not say a word? Instead, he had disguised himself as an ordinary newcomer. He was trying to stir up trouble. Damn it, I've been tricked by them. The faces of the heavenly clouds mansion's people darkened. No, I have to quickly tell Xian Yun. I can't let him be careless anymore. Soon, someone transmitted their voice. After Xian Yun heard the news, his body trembled and his eyes widened. He looked at the figure in front of him in disbelief. His expression was filled with shock and disbelief. The other party had comprehended the Moongazer wordless stele. Impossible. It couldn't be a brat. Even if someone could comprehend the Moongazer wordless stele, they would be in seclusion now. Who would be in the mood to care about such a thing? Didn't you see that the Northern Demon and the others were in seclusion? Therefore, he did not believe that the person who participated in the Moongazer wordless stele was Lin Xian. Brat, no matter who you are, you've angered me now. So, go to hell. Buzz. 6 runes appeared on the surface of the swan fan and floated in the air. The sky darkened, the wind blew, and thunder filled the sky. A terrifying power spread out, pressing down on everyone until they couldn't breathe. Even Qing Wu and Zhong Lingxiu were facing it with their full strength. A mysterious bloodline power appeared on Qing Wu's body, and a green lotus appeared beside Zhong Lingxiu, suppressing heaven and earth. The surrounding formation flickered and shrouded everything. Kill. Xian Yun waved the fan in his hand, and the 6 ancient runes turned into rays of light that charged toward Lin Xian. From afar, it looked like a star in the sky, piercing through the sky and crashing into the earth. This attack was truly incomparably terrifying. Damn it, what kind of runes are these? They're definitely runes set up by a saint. It's too terrifying. Lin Xian, you have to dodge quickly. You can't take it head-on. Indeed, the swan fan was very powerful, and these runes were even more terrifying. If he took it head-on, he would be at a disadvantage. The best way to deal with it was to dodge it with speed. However, Lin Xian did not move. He just looked at the 6 runes rushing toward him. What's going on? Is Lin Shui going to take it head-on? These people exclaimed. When the people of Heavenly Cloud's mansion saw this, they sneered again. This shouldn't be the brat who comprehended the Moongazer wordless stele. Look at him. He's scared out of his wits when he's facing the 6 runes. How could he be such a peerless genius? That peerless genius should be in seclusion. These people sneered disdainfully, but in the next moment, they were stunned and even their bodies trembled. Many people directly knelt on the ground in fear. Even the blue-robed man's pupils shrank, and his face was full of disbelief. Lin Xian didn't dodge at all. When the 6 runes arrived in front of him, he slowly raised his finger. It moved forward. This time, the movement was very slow. It was as if he was drawing a picture. Moreover, there was no terrifying power, nor was there any bright light. It was just an ordinary stroke. However, this time, the whole world trembled, as if it was about to split open. Endless energy surged, and the 6 ancient runes were destroyed in an instant. All the terrifying scenes and terrifying cracks between the heavens and the earth had completely disappeared. It was as if everything that happened before was just a dream. The people of Heavenly Cloud's mansion were stunned. Not to mention them, the people of Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were also stunned. In their opinion, Lin Xian should have used the 9 Yang divine body to resist the 6 terrifying attacks. However, they guessed wrong. Lin Xian didn't take the attack head-on. Instead, he drew a strange arc in the air. Under this strange arc, the 6 runes were reduced to ashes. What kind of arc was this? They were all stunned. Damn it, it's impossible. What did he do? With a gentle wave of his arm, he broke 6 runes? This is impossible. Those 6 runes, even Qing Wu's bloodline power couldn't block them. How could that brat block them? Chapter 3066. What did he use? Could it be a super powerful sage-level artifact? These people had gone crazy. Xian Yun looked even more adorable. What's going on? His super powerful attack was easily neutralized by the other party. It was so easy. Damn it. How could the other party have such a mysterious divine ability? What the hell was that? At this moment, everyone was stunned. Qing Wu was stunned. In the distance, Zhong Lingxiu was also stunned. Her beautiful eyes flickered as she stared at Lin Xian. At the same time, the elders of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion who were watching the battle in the dark were also shocked. What was going on just now? How could they not watch when the Heavenly Cloud Mansion came knocking on their door? However, they were all juniors, so these elders couldn't make a move. Therefore, they could only watch in the dark to avoid losing their lives. After all, they were all geniuses, and it would be a pity if they died. Previously, the Heavenly Cloud Mansion was very arrogant, which made these elders very unhappy. However, there was nothing they could do. Unexpectedly, Lin Xian came and turned the situation around, which made these elders excited. In their opinion, Lin Xian should be able to defeat the other party with the Great Dragon Sword Soul and 9 Yang Divine Body. However, Lin Xian did make a move, but it was different from what they had imagined. He didn't seem to use the Great Dragon Sword Soul, nor did he use the 9 Yang Divine Body. With just a casual attack, he destroyed such a terrifying sage-level rune. How did he do it? His attack just now seemed ordinary, but it was very strange. It was close to Dao. What? Close to Dao? How is this possible? Did this kick comprehend it so quickly? These elders were dumbfounded, and their bodies trembled. The next moment, they were extremely excited, as if they had been injected with chicken blood. This kid's talent is heaven-defying. How long has it been since he got the Plenilun Wordless Steel? Heavens, he was definitely going to win. Previously, these elders were still a little worried. After all, Xian Yun's Dharma treasure was very powerful. But now, after Lin Xian used this move, these elders were all relieved. They continued to watch the battle with excitement. These people from the Heavenly Clouds Mansion were so arrogant. Now, they were going to suffer. Xian Yun will probably be defeated. Damn it, I don't believe it. Go to hell. Xian Yun roared madly. This time, the fan in his hand emitted a terrifying glow, causing rare phenomena to take place. Swan fan, 10 cardinals purgatory, a sinister wind blew, and the cries of ghosts and howls of wolves could be heard. The entire world turned dark, as if it had turned into hell. Black runes jumped about, emitting a cold and terrifying aura, wanting to take Lin Xian's life. Within the formation, the geniuses of the elite manor who were being protected were shivering in fear. Damn it, what kind of treasure is this? To be able to unleash such a divine ability. This was the work of a saint. This Xian Yun's treasure was seriously too powerful. He wondered how Lin Xian was going to fight this time. Don't worry, this kid has the Great Dragon Sword Soul and can destroy everything. This cold aura is not a threat to him. These words made the people of the House of Prodigy let out a sigh of relief. The members of the Heavenly Clouds mansion became nervous once again. Lad, let's see how you will die this time. Xian Yun also laughed complacently. He did not believe that the other party would be able to break it this time around. Even if he could break it, he would be seriously injured. In the face of such a terrifying attack, Lin Xian was still expressionless. He did not even try to dodge. He raised his arm again and drew the same strange arc as before. Crack, 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 crack. The hellish scene in the surroundings quickly collapsed. In an instant, the world regained its clarity. All of the hellish scenes were shattered. How was this possible? The people of the Heavenly Clouds mansion were dumbfounded. They trembled and felt a chill run down their spines. Xian Yun's scalp went numb. His eyes were wide open. What was going on? When Lin Xian made his move, Xian Yun used his eye technique to check if it was an elder of the House of Prodigy who was secretly attacking. However, he realized that it was not the case. It was only this kid. Moreover, the other party did not use any treasured weapon. He had used his finger to draw a line in the air, and the divine ability he had unleashed had collapsed. This caused Xian Yun to start doubting his life. Was his attack really so trash? No, this was impossible. He was very clear about the power of the Swan Fan. No one could easily block it. What the hell is this kid doing? At this moment, Xian Yun began to doubt his life. The people of the House of Prodigy were also stunned. The elders who were secretly watching the battle were excited. That's right, it was close to Dao. Although it was not a Dao pattern, it was far beyond ordinary runes. It carried a mysterious and unfathomable aura. This Lin Xian was really amazing. He could comprehend it so quickly. Yes, even if he was talented, he couldn't be so fast. Back then, even Yi Gu Cheng was not so fast, right? Indeed, Lin Xian's speed of comprehension was beyond the expectations of these elders. To be honest, Lin Xian was also shocked when he used it. The power was so terrifying. Was this the power of Dao? No wonder sages were invincible and unsurpassable. This was not a Dao pattern, not a law. It was just him imitating a Dao pattern and transforming it. It was so terrifying. How terrifying was a real Dao pattern? It was estimated that if a Dao pattern flew out, Xian Yun and those geniuses of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion would be instantly turned into ashes. Of course, Lin Xian was able to achieve it so quickly. In addition to his abnormal talent, the Heavenly Secret Divine, I also played a big role. The Heavenly Secret Divine, I was originally a mysterious and unparalleled I that could see through everything. At this moment, with the Plenilun Seed, Lin Xian could clearly see the Dao patterns and laws between heaven and earth. Therefore, his speed of progress was so astonishing. Of course, in these 2 months, he had only comprehended 2 curves. Now, he was using the first one. Lin Xian looked ahead, stunned, and even doubting Xian Yun's life. The corner of his mouth raised into a smile. I said, "You are not my opponent. I also asked you before, do you know what it means to die young? In the end, you didn't listen to my advice at all. Since that's the case, don't blame me for being impolite. If you admit defeat obediently, you can avoid some torture. You choose for yourself." With these 2 incomparably mysterious curves in his hands, Lin Xian did not place Xian Yun in his eyes at all. Not to mention, he also had the great dragon sword soul and 9 yang divine body. Xian Yun was trembling with anger. Admit defeat? What a joke. If he lost, he would have to kneel and kowtow to apologize. This would be worse than killing him. Previously, Xian Yun had agreed to such a condition without even thinking about it. In his opinion, he would not lose. But now, he was very likely to lose. No, he could not accept it. As a peerless genius, he could not kneel and apologize to these people. Damn it, I don't believe it. Xian Yun roared, and quickly charged over. The folding fan in his hand danced continuously, and streams of killing intent flew out from the fan. They intertwined with each other, forming a huge bolt of lightning that shattered the entire heaven and earth. The lightning and runes in the sky intertwined with each other, forming a terrifying array that enveloped Lin Xian. Chapter 3067. This Xian Yun was really terrifying. If it wasn't for Lin Xian, no one would be able to defeat him. Only the northern beasts would be able to defeat him. That was indeed the case. The terrifying murderous aura pierced through the 9 heavens, causing even Qing Wu's body to tremble. It was too strong, so strong that she couldn't contend with it. In the face of such a terrifying murderous aura, Lin Xian was like a phantom, moving quickly in the endless murderous aura. At the same time, a sharp sword qi burst out from his body. He waved his hands, and the sword qi rushed forward, destroying the monstrous murderous aura. How was this possible? How could his strength be so strong? The people of the Heavenly Clouds Mansion were stunned. Lin Xian was beyond their imagination. Xian Yun was even more shocked. The other party was very relaxed in his murderous aura, as if he was taking a stroll in the park. This scene almost caused him to break down, especially the sword qi from the other party. It was even more terrifying than his murderous aura. He couldn't bear it. "Damn, kid, I want you dead." The moment the other party destroyed the murderous aura, Xian Yun quickly rushed forward. He spat out a blood light from his mouth, spraying it on the fan in his hand. Immediately, the simple fan trembled, emitting an incomparable blood light. The blood light filled the sky, and the 6 ancient runes jumped out again, surrounded by endless blood, exuding an incomparably terrifying aura. "Kid, go to hell." Blood Fiend 6 runes. The 6 blood runes were like the sun, filled with a monstrous blood aura, instantly shrouding Lin Xian. Great, Xian Yun had used this attack. The kid was definitely dead. An invincible king couldn't contend with it. This was a sure kill attack. The people of the Heavenly Clouds Mansion regained their confidence. The people of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were indeed worried. Even the elders who were watching in the dark felt their hearts beating wildly. Damn it! The murderous aura of these 6 blood runes was too shocking. It could destroy everything. They wondered how this Lin Xian would deal with it. His 9 yang divine body should be fine. The 9 yang divine body of a sage should be fine. I wonder what level this kid has reached. Everyone couldn't help but worry for Lin Xian. Lin Xian naturally felt a great sense of danger. These 6 blood runes were not simple. There was no need to look at them to know that they were the work of a saint. He was too powerful. Lin Xian took a deep breath and waved his arm again. However, the arc this time was different from the previous one. However, it was still very slow. It didn't seem to have any power, nor did it explode with light. However, once it appeared in the air, the surrounding crimson runes began to tremble. They were simply unable to withstand it. Damn it, how is this possible? When Xian Yun caught sight of this, he shrieked out. The 6 blood malevolent runes should have been able to suppress everything, but to think that they would be shaken by the other party so easily, what was he trying to do? Xian Yun was about to go crazy. Whoosh! This time, as Lin Xian waved his arm, an arc appeared in the sky. When this arc appeared, it seemed to open up a gap. Flames that filled the sky flew out. Flames? It's useless. Extinguish! Xian Yun roared. It's just a mere flame. How can it destroy 6 of my runes? How naive! However, he soon realized that he was the naive one. After the flames appeared, they directly enveloped the 6 blood malevolent runes. The 6 blood malevolent runes emitted a terrifying power. However, they were quickly burned away, leaving nothing behind. What kind of flame is this? How can it be so powerful? Xian Yun was stunned. The people of Heavenly Cloud's mansion behind him were also stunned. They couldn't believe it. The people of Extraordinary Warrior Mansion were also shocked. Is this the Nine Suns' divine fire? But is the Nine Suns' divine fire that terrifying? Has Lin Xian's Nine Suns' divine body become stronger again? It wasn't that they had never seen the Nine Suns' divine fire before. Previously, when Lin Xian fought with Hei Mo, he had used it. However, although the Nine Suns' divine fire was powerful at that time, it wasn't terrifying to this extent. This kid really has a lot of trump cards, the elders in the dark exclaimed. It's not the Nine Suns' divine fire. This kid actually comprehended another power. These elders were too excited, because this curve was obviously different from the previous one. The previous one could dissolve and shatter everything. It was very violent and had a destructive aura, but this one was the law of fire. These were two completely different powers. This kid could actually comprehend two powers in 2 months and unleash a power that was close to Tao. This was simply too shocking for these elders to handle. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In the sky, terrifying flames surged and flew forward, enveloping Xian Yun. Impossible. You can't hurt me. Get lost. Xian Yun roared crazily. He soared into the sky and charged forward. He wanted to extinguish the flames. He waved the fan in his hand, and waves rushed out, wanting to extinguish the flames. However, he quickly retreated because the waves he created were instantly vaporized into white mist that drifted in all directions. When he approached the flames, he felt his body melting. This flame was too powerful. It wasn't something he could resist. Even if he had the swan fan, it wouldn't be enough. Go around the flames and attack from other places. Xian Yun's idea was good, but he still underestimated this power that was close to Tao. When he moved, those flames also moved. The speed was quick to the extreme. In an instant, it formed a cage, enveloping him. The frightening power of the flames continued to crush down. Damn it, block for me. Xian Yun roared angrily, casting the swan fan to block. The power that was close to Tao was too terrifying. Even Xian Yun could only protect himself, while at this time, Lin Xian cast Annihilation again. He comprehended a total of 2 powers that were close to Tao. One could destroy everything, which he called Annihilation. The second was this kind of flame, which he called Smoke Fire. The moment the power of Annihilation was released, it shattered everything, directly sending the swan fan flying. Xian Yun completely despaired. Without the swan fan, he could not resist the surrounding flames at all. In an instant, the battle armor on his body melted, shattering into pieces. His body was also ignited, screaming miserably. Still not admitting defeat? Lin Xian snorted coldly. Damn it! Xian Yun screamed. In the next moment, half of his body turned into a sea of blood. His miserable appearance made the scalps of the people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion tingle. Stop! How dare you? The people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion screamed crazily. Many of them rushed over. However, they were soon blasted back by the flames. It's too terrifying. These flames are not something we can stop. Damn it, if you dare to kill him, you're dead meat. Humph! At this moment, a cold voice came from the void. Then a ray of light lit up and turned into a monstrous water, extinguishing all of Lin Xian's flames. Then the monstrous water wrapped around Xian Yun and saved him. An expert had made his move. Chapter 3068. Lin Xian squinted his eyes. To be able to break the power that was close to Tao, it was most likely a sage or a half-sage. It should be an elder of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion. Indeed, An old man appeared in the sky. His face was extremely ugly. Previously, he was hiding in the dark like the elders of the extraordinary warrior mansion. After all, it was not suitable for the elders to intervene in the battle between the younger generation. However, although he was hiding in the dark, he was very happy. The people they sent this time were too strong. Especially Xian Yun. He directly beat up the extraordinary scholar manor until it was dead silent, suffering repeated defeats. This naturally made them very happy. However, they did not expect that Lin Xian would appear and defeat Xian Yun with two simple moves. Even now, half of Xian Yun's body was ignited, and he was almost killed. This scene forced the elder of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion to take action. If he took action a little later, Xian Yun's body and soul would have been destroyed. Great, it was the elder who took action. The geniuses of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion also heaved a sigh of relief. You've won this battle, the elder of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion said coldly. Hearing this, the geniuses of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion had ugly expressions while the extraordinary warrior mansion cheered. This is great. He won. He finally won. And he defeated Xian Yun in a domineering manner. As expected of Lin Xian, he's really powerful. A peerless genius. This kid will definitely defy the heavens in the future. Yes, those two moves were too terrifying. Even the Northern Demon and Yu Linglong would have a headache if they encountered them. They were overjoyed. Lin Xian said in a deep voice, since he had lost, he should fulfill the bet. What? As soon as these words came out, the people of the extraordinary warrior mansion were stunned. Yes, there was still a bet. The faces of the people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion darkened. Xian Yun was trembling with anger. What a joke. You want me to kowtow and admit my mistake? Impossible. He screamed like a madman. The elder of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion also darkened his face. Junior, don't go too far. Go too far? Su Chen smiled. Did you think he went too far when he used his magical weapon to suppress the geniuses of the extraordinary warrior mansion? When he humiliated the geniuses of our House of Prodigies, did you think it was too much? When he wanted to lay his hands on the number one beauty of our House of Prodigy, did you think it was too much? You didn't even step out when he did something so outrageous before. Now that he's asked to kowtow and admit his mistake, you're jumping out instead? What? Do you think there's no one in my House of Prodigy? At this point, Lin Xian glanced at the void. In the dark, a few elders of the extraordinary warrior mansion laughed. This little guy seems to have discovered our existence. Humph. These people from the Heavenly Clouds Mansion are too hateful. Do they really think this is their territory? Let's go out and let them know whose territory this is. In the sky, several figures appeared, bringing with them great power. Suppress an area. The elder had appeared. The geniuses of the outstanding scholar mansion cheered. On the other hand, the faces of the Heavenly Clouds Mansion's people turned even gloomier. Fellow Daoist, it's best that we don't interfere in the battle between the younger generation. That's right. I have 6,000 years old spirit tea here. Why don't you go and have a taste? Several elders of the extraordinary warrior mansion surrounded and stared at the elder of the Heavenly Clouds Mansion. The face of the elder of the Heavenly Clouds Mansion was terrifyingly dark. He didn't expect the elder of the extraordinary warrior mansion to be so direct. If he left, Xian Yun's fate would be very miserable. However, at this time, the blue-clothed youth below said in a deep voice, Elder, don't worry. With me here, there won't be any problems. Well, I'll leave this place to you. I'll go and have a taste of the 6,000 years old spirit tea. After saying that, the elder of the Heavenly Clouds Mansion coldly snorted. He put away the 3,000 spirit tea and placed Xian Yun on the ground. Then he turned around and disappeared in the sky with the other elders of the extraordinary warrior mansion. The other party left just like that. The geniuses of the extraordinary warrior mansion were stunned. It shouldn't be. Isn't he afraid that Xian Yun will kowtow and admit his mistake? No, there's something wrong with that blue-clothed youth. His words made the elder of the Heavenly Clouds mansion so relieved. Who is this person? I don't know. He's not one of the top geniuses of the Heavenly Clouds mansion. Who is he? Damn. Is he a newcomer of the Heavenly Clouds mansion? How many geniuses did the Heavenly Clouds mansion send this time? Qing Wu sneered. No matter who came, the bet couldn't be changed. Kneel. Admit your mistake. Apologize. She was really angry. Previously, this group of people provoked and even humiliated her. They even wanted to take advantage of her. How could she not return the favor now? Yes, the people of the extraordinary warrior mansion also shouted crazily. Their voices were like thunder, shaking the 9 heavens. Kneel. Apologize. The geniuses of the extraordinary warrior mansion were very excited. This matter wasn't over yet. They would definitely spread the news to the Ancient Star Road. They were really too excited. The people of the Heavenly Clouds mansion were so angry that they wanted to vomit blood. Damn it! If this news spread to the Ancient Star Road, they would really lose face. Damn it, they were too careless. They didn't expect that the other party would have such a powerful person. They originally thought that since the northern monster, Yuling Long, and other top geniuses were in seclusion, there weren't many powerful geniuses in the extraordinary warrior mansion. Coupled with the swan fan in Xian Yun's hand, they could definitely sweep the place. When the time came, they would spread the news to the Ancient Star Road and humiliate the extraordinary warrior mansion. However, they didn't expect that a red-robed kid would appear halfway. He was so terrifying that he defeated Xian Yun with just a few moves. In fact, even their elders had been taken away by them. Now, they were faced with a difficult choice. To kneel or not to kneel? Damn, kid, don't even think about it. Kill me if you have the guts. Xian Yun roared, his face ferocious. Humph, it's not up to you. Lin Xian strode forward. Today, you have to kneel even if you don't want to. In the sky, a big hand bloomed with the power of flames and grabbed at Xian Yun. It seemed that Lin Xian wanted to force Xian Yun to kneel down. No, damn it, don't you dare. Xian Yun roared, but now that he was seriously injured, he wasn't Lin Xian's opponent at all. He was about to be enveloped by the big flaming hand. However, at this moment, a thunderbolt pierced through the void and penetrated the big flaming hand. Who made the move? It was the blue-robed man. The people of the extraordinary warrior mansion exclaimed. Qing Wu, Zhong Lingxiu, and other top geniuses were also shocked. The other party actually had an expert, and it seemed that he was even more powerful than Xian Yun. Damn it, the Heavenly Cloud Mansion was too despicable. They actually sent so many experts while their experts were in seclusion. Fortunately, Lin Xian came. Otherwise, they would really be in danger this time. Lin Xian was also surprised. He raised his head and looked at the other party. The other party could easily destroy his palm, which was beyond his expectations. It seemed that he should be a strong enemy. Who are you? Lin Xian asked coldly. Why, do you want to break the contract? You want to walk the ancient path of the starry sky? Don't worry, the Heavenly Cloud Mansion is a man of his word. The blue-robed man walked forward and said coldly, However, I want to make another bet with you. Fight with me. If you win, I'll make Xian Yun apologize and chop off his arms. Moreover, I'll give you 50 kilograms of cold iron starry cloud stone. If you lose, then the previous bet will be written off. How about it? Chapter 3069. Hearing this, the people of the extraordinary warrior mansion were in an uproar. They did not expect that the young man in blue would still fight. After seeing how powerful Lin Xian was, he still wanted to fight. Where did this person get his confidence from? Who was he? How dare he fight with him? Yes, we won't lose anything from this bet. If we win, we can make Xian Yun apologize. We can also get 50 kilograms of cold, iron starry cloud stone. This was an extremely precious metal, a material used to forge a half-saint weapon, and it was very rare. 50 kilograms was a lot. It was enough to forge a half-saint weapon. Yes, even if he lost, it was nothing. Everyone was discussing. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. The other party was so confident that he wanted to fight with him. Well, he wanted to see where the other party got his confidence from. Okay, I agree to fight with you. As soon as the words came out, the people of the extraordinary warrior mansion cheered, while the people of the heavenly clouds mansion sneered. He dared to fight with Senior Brother Chen. He was courting death. Senior Brother Chen would never lose. Senior Brother Chen's strength was far above Xian Yun. That kid definitely did not know Senior Brother Chen, otherwise he would not dare to fight with him. Kid, you're definitely no match for Senior Brother Chen. Xian Yun, who was at the side, also recovered and snorted coldly. He retreated to the side with an extremely cold expression. Only the young man in blue and Lin Xian were left in the field. Lin Xian took a deep breath, and a piercing light burst out from his eyes. He held the blazing Qilin sword in his hand and slashed down. He did not use the two forces that were close to Dao, because although the two forces were terrifying, it would consume a lot of energy to use them. With Lin Xian's current strength, he could only use a few moves. He could only use it as a trump card. Previously, Xian Yun was too arrogant, and he wanted to suppress him with a thunderous method, so he used the force that was close to Dao. Moreover, he also wanted to see how terrifying this force was. Now he had seen it. However, the young man in blue in front of him was a great threat to him. He was even above Xian Yun. Moreover, he did not know what his opponent's trump card was. Therefore, he didn't use anything close to the power of the Dao. However, even if he didn't use these two powers, Lin Xian's strength was still very strong. At this moment, when the sword light appeared, it swept across the 9 heavens and 10 earths. What? He was a swordsman. The people of the heavenly clouds mansion behind him screamed. This sword was too terrifying. Who would have thought that Lin Xian did not display his terrifying strength, but instead used a sword technique? Xian Yun's eyelids twitched violently. Even if his opponent did not possess such strength, just this sword technique alone was not something that he could contend against. This made him even more terrified. Who exactly was this person? Could he really be the peerless genius who comprehended the moon-gazing wordless steel? The blue-clothed man was also shocked. Lin Xian's sword technique was a threat to him. The space around him collapsed rapidly, as if there was a sharp force that wanted to cut him in half. Swordsman? The man in blue sneered. He raised his hand and pressed forward. Blue runes floated out from his palm, emitting a hazy glow that grew larger and larger. Xiao Chun threw a palm strike, and the sharp sword light in the sky quickly melted away. Was it broken? Zhong Lingxiu frowned. Qing Wu also exclaimed. Her opponent had broken Lin Xian's sword chi so easily. Lin Xian was also stunned. He was indeed a difficult opponent. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Dozens of swords flew out, sweeping across heaven and earth. However, with a wave of the blue palm, Lin Xian's sword chi was completely annihilated. What's going on? Lin Xian was surprised. This force was a bit like his annihilation. Indeed, the sword chi did not collapse, but gradually became smaller, like a flame that quickly disappeared and finally disappeared. What kind of force was this? Could it be that his opponent had also mastered a force that was close to Dao? She shouldn't have missed that terrifying heartbeat. Ha ha ha, kid, are you an idiot? Let me tell you, our senior brother Chen is a super expert. His strength is not something that you can contend with. Senior Brother Chen's poisonous palm can melt and corrode everything in the world. No matter how strong your sword chi is, you can't block it. A poison expert. The people of the extraordinary warrior mansion behind him were stunned. Could it be him? Someone screamed. Chun Ku, known as the Poison King, had terrifying strength. The poison in his body was extremely strange. When fighting with him, one could be poisoned unknowingly. Hearing this, the people of the extraordinary warrior mansion were terrified. They were no strangers to the Poison King, but few people had seen him before. Everyone only knew his name, but they did not expect him to be the blue-robed man in front of them. No wonder the elders of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion were so relieved. The Poison King was a veteran expert. Moreover, he was very famous in the Heavenly Cloud Mansion and was one of the top experts. Damn it, they did not expect that a dark horse like Xian Yun would appear this time, and a veteran expert like the Poison King would come too. The Heavenly Cloud Mansion was too hateful. Lin Xian, be careful of his poison. You will be in danger if you are contaminated. It was said that almost no one among the invincible kings could detoxify his poison. A poison expert? Lin Xian frowned. No wonder he could melt his sword chi before. It turned out that he had used poison to melt it. He really hadn't seen many poison experts like this. Generally, he could kill those who were weak with a single sword strike. There were very few people who were strong enough to use poison. Moreover, Lin Xian did not have much experience fighting against poison experts. But so what? A cold light burst out from his eyes, and the sword in his hand fell again. This time, the power was stronger. It was useless. Chun Ku shook his head and waved his cold poison palm. In the palm, strange blue runes floated, and the corrosive power made the void collapse. Nothing could withstand his poison, and his opponent's sword chi would be instantly corroded. Buzz. It was not corroded. The next moment, Chun Ku's eyelids twitched. He found that although the sword chi was affected by his poison gas, it suddenly burst out with a cold light. It slashed down with an extremely terrifying power. Swoosh. Chun Ku's figure flickered, turned into a blue smoke, and disappeared. What was going on? That kid was not affected by the corrosion. How could his sword chi be so fierce? Impossible. Even the attack of a quasi-sane artifact would be affected. What was the grade of the sword in the kid's hand? The people of the Heavenly Cloud Mansion screamed. No, it was just a quasi-sane artifact. How could its power be so terrifying? The people of the Extraordinary Warrior Mansion also breathed a sigh of relief. They knew that it was not the blazing Qilin sword that was too terrifying, but Lin Xian had the great dragon sword soul. That biting cold sword chi would not be so easily destroyed. Sure enough, one sword strike, 2 swords, 3 swords, the poison gas in the sky was all cut open. The sky was clear again, and the corroded black hole slowly disappeared. Chun Ku was suppressed. They could not believe it. Impossible. How could Senior Brother be suppressed? Chapter 3070. Chun Ku's face was extremely cold. How could this biting cold sword chi break my frost poison palm? His face was also a little gloomy, and the blue runes in his hand slowly disappeared. Interesting. I'm getting more and more interested in you. I wonder how you're going to fight next. Chun Ku flipped his palm, and a palm-sized black box was taken out by him. Then, with a wave of his finger, the lid of the box opened, and a 7-colored centipede appeared inside. A 7-colored centipede. Damn it, this guy actually has this thing. Don't let it bite you. Otherwise, even a half-step saint will die. Behind him, Qing Wu also screamed. She didn't expect Chun Ku to have such a terrifying 7-colored centipede. Whoosh. As she spoke, the 7-colored centipede turned into a ray of light and flew out. In an instant, It disappeared into the void. It disappeared. Damn it, where is it? The people of the extraordinary warrior mansion exclaimed. Qing Wu's face was pale, and Zhong Linxiu's eyes were mysterious. Lin Xian stopped and frowned. A seven-colored centipede? He knew that it was an extremely terrifying poisonous insect. If bitten by it, an invincible king would instantly be poisoned to death. This seven-colored centipede was also an extremely terrifying monster in ancient times. He didn't expect Chen Ku to have one. He didn't know how old it was, but even if it was a larva, the poison was probably not something an invincible king could withstand. Lin Xian opened his heavenly secret divine eyes. He saw a blurry seven-colored light in the void, moving quickly. In an instant, it came behind him and pounced fiercely. Get lost! He waved the blazing Qilin sword and slashed out a ray of sword light directly behind him. With a clang, the seven-colored centipede was shaken out and flew out. What? He actually found the seven-colored centipede? That's impossible! The people of the heavenly cloud mansion screamed, and Chen Ku's eyelids twitched. The seven-colored centipede could escape into the void without a trace. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to find it at all. Even powerful geniuses wouldn't be able to find it without a special secret method. How did Chen Ku find it? And it was so accurate. After sending the seven-colored centipede flying, Lin Xian turned into a ray of divine light and rushed forward. The blazing Qilin sword continued to slash at the seven-colored centipede. Damn it! Get lost! Chen Ku roared madly and controlled the seven-colored centipede to counterattack, but under the heavenly fortune divine eyes, there was nowhere for the seven-colored centipede to hide. With the support of the great dragon sword soul, Lin Xian's sword Qi was extremely terrifying. It forced the seven-colored centipede to retreat. Puqi! The seven-colored centipede opened its mouth and spat out a seven-colored poisonous mist toward Lin Xian's face. If he breathed it in, Lin Xian would immediately die from the poison. Qing Wu, Zhong Linxiu, and the others were extremely nervous. Puqi, Lin Xian slashed down with his sword. The power of the great dragon sword spirit erupted, causing the sword Qi to be incomparably sharp. This sword cleaved the seven-colored poison mist apart. The remaining poison tried to enter Lin Xian's body, but the nine-yang divine body emitted a divine light and blocked the seven-colored poison mist. Lin Xian continued to chase after the seven-colored centipede in the poisonous fog. Damn it! How is this possible? How can he block it? What kind of body does he have? Xian Yun screamed like a madman. Chen Ku's eyelids were also twitching. Damn it, who the hell is this person? Why do I feel that he's ridiculously strong? Clang, 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 clang. The blazing Qilin sword struck the seven-colored centipede, producing thunderous sounds and shattering the surrounding space. Finally, a crack appeared on the seven-colored centipede's body. Although it was small, it was still injured. Seeing this, Chen Ku screamed like a madman and wanted to recall the seven-colored centipede. Stay here. Lin Xian snorted and drew a strange arc with the blazing Qilin sword. Annihilation! A destructive force burst out and slammed into the crack. With a Puqi, the crack became bigger, and the seven-colored centipede's body was directly torn apart. Roar! The seven-colored centipede was an invincible monster king. It was very powerful, and its body was even tougher. However, it was still broken by someone. The seven-colored centipede let out a crazy roar. In addition, Chen Ku was controlling it from afar. It turned into a stream of light and fled far away. However, the seven-colored poisonous blood that remained in the air turned into poisonous arrows and pierced towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian's sword moved again. Smoke and fire, a terrifying and mysterious power surged from the sword and gradually destroyed all the poisonous swords. The next moment, he turned his head and stared into the distance. Damn it, how dare you hurt my baby? I won't let you off. Chun-Ku put away the seven-colored centipede and placed it in the brocade box. He had a pained look on his face. The seven-colored centipede was seriously injured. It would probably take a few decades for it to fully recover. This made his heart bleed. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You're still worried about the seven-colored centipede? I'll worry about you first. As he said that, he turned into a stream of light and strode forward. However, halfway through, he stopped. His body swayed, and he almost fell from the sky. What's going on? Behind him, the people of Extraordinary Warrior Mansion exclaimed. Qing Wu and Zhong Linxiu also screamed. Was Li Xian injured? It shouldn't be. Previously, the seven-colored centipede did not hurt Lin Xian. Chun-Ku looked up to the sky and laughed. Ha ha ha, kid, you're still poisoned. You want to fight with me? You're still far from it. What, poisoned? That's impossible. Qing Wu screamed. Zhong Linxiu also frowned. Xian Yun sneered. I've said it before. You're no match for Senior Brother Chen. The experts of Heavenly Cloud's mansion also laughed. Ha ha, this kid, is he an idiot? You want to fight with Senior Brother Chen? Can you resist? After being poisoned, you're useless. Let's see how our Senior Brother Chen cripples you. Poisoned? Lin Xian also frowned. His face was gloomy and cold. It shouldn't be. How could he be poisoned? The cold poison palm was broken by him, and the seven-colored centipede was also crippled by him. During the whole process, he was not injured. How could he be poisoned? No, wait. Lin Xian was shocked. He could feel that he was indeed poisoned in his body. His golden eyes burst out with a cold light, and a crescent moon floated in his eyes. This is poison gas, colorless and odorless, an undetectable poison gas. Lin Xian was shocked. He did not expect that his opponent would use such a colorless and odorless poison gas. He did not notice it at all. If it wasn't for the poison in his body, he would not have noticed it at all. Bang! A big blue palm with poison gas slapped over, enveloping Lin Xian and sending him flying. Lin Xian flew out and landed on the ground, causing countless large cracks. Lin Xian! The people of Extraordinary Warrior Mansion screamed, crazily. Qing Wu and the others were also nervous to the extreme. Chun-Ku frowned. He was not injured. He found that although he sent his opponent flying with this palm, his opponent's physique was not injured. His poison gas did not even enter his opponent's body. It only circulated on the surface of his body. What kind of physique is this? It's too strong. Chun-Ku frowned, but soon he revealed a ferocious expression. Chapter 3071. So, what if the other party's physique was strong? He was now poisoned by the devil flower. He was already seriously injured and on the verge of death. He did not have any strength to resist at all. He could torture and kill the other party at will. He would let these people from the House of Prodigy know who was the real powerhouse. It's over. Lin Xian is in danger. Yes, he was actually poisoned. The Poison King's poison was definitely not that easy to detoxify. He probably could not unleash his strength at all right now. Careless, Lin Xian should have directly displayed those two incomparably mysterious powers and defeated the Poison King. Those two incomparably mysterious powers definitely could not be easily released. Moreover, it looked like Lin Xian wanted to probe the Poison King's strength previously. This strategy was not wrong. It was just that he did not expect the Poison King to release the Devil Flower's poison at an unknown time. Damn it. Luckily, we have a peerless array protecting us. Otherwise, we would already be dead people now. These people from the House of Prodigy felt their heads and feet go cold. Indeed, if they encountered the Poison King outside, they probably would not even know how they died. Hee hee, Watch how senior apprentice brother Chen will torture him to death. Xian Yun revealed a sinister smile. Chun Ku walked up in large strides. On his palm, countless poisonous insects flew out, turning into a poisonous blade, incomparably sinister. Slashing out, the void was instantly corroded. This blade slashed onto Lin Xian's body, sending Lin Xian flying again. However, how powerful was the 9-yang divine body? Lin Xian had already cultivated it to the 5th level now. In other words, his current physique had already surpassed an invincible king realm. Ordinary attacks really couldn't hurt him, unless it was something like using poison or a power close to Tao. Damn it, this kid's physique was actually so strange. Chen Ku also frowned. He waved his hand, and that poisonous sword flew forward, turning into countless poisonous lights, completely enveloping Lin Xian. I don't believe that I can't poison you to death. The poisonous insects covered the sky-covered Lin Xian's body, constantly biting and releasing poisonous gas, making sonorous sounds. The 9-yang divine body was swallowed up. This scene was very terrifying. Qing Wu and the others were on tenterhooks. Looking at this scene, they wanted to help, but the battle was still not over. If they made a move, it would mean that Lin Xian was done for. They could not accept this result. Lin Xian was also affected by being surrounded by so many poisonous insects. Although the 9-yang divine body is powerful, it still hasn't reached the sage realm. And now, he was poisoned, causing him to suffer from internal and external impacts, causing his blood and qi to roil. Poison? Do you really think you can poison me? Great dragon, sword spirit, attack. The dragon soul in Lin Xian's body roared and turned into countless sword lights that pierced through every inch of his flesh and blood, completely obliterating the poisonous gas. Up ahead, Chen Ku walked over once more. He looked at Lin Xian, who was lying on the ground and surrounded by a myriad of poisons, and a savage smile appeared on his face. He took out the 7-colored centipede again and spat out a drop of blood essence to envelop the 7-colored centipede. Go, you can take your revenge now. Chun Ku said to the rainbow centipede in her hand. The 7-colored centipede's eyes emitted a blood-red light. It let out a savage roar that shattered the heavens and the earth as it rushed forward quickly. It wanted to pierce through Lin Xian. The 7-colored centipede flew forward, and the poisonous insects quickly spread out, forming a vacuum zone. It couldn't be helped. The 7-colored centipede was the supreme king of the poisonous insect world. It was all thanks to Chen Ku that the poisonous insects didn't collapse from fright. It was Chen Ku who controlled the 7-colored centipede. Otherwise, these poisonous insects would have all been killed by the 7-colored centipede. The 7-colored centipede turned into a stream of light and instantly rushed towards Lin Xian's head, wanting to eat his brain. Not good. Seeing this scene, Qing Wu, Zhong Lingxiu, and the others screamed. The faces of those from the outstanding scholar mansion also changed greatly. Ordinary poisonous insects couldn't break through Lin Xian's body, but the 7-colored centipede was different. It could even poison a half-saint to death. No matter how strong Lin Xian was, he would probably die from the poison after being bitten by the 7-colored centipede. The people from the Heavenly Clouds mansion sneered. Xian Yun even showed a savage smile. The 7-colored centipede had already arrived in front of Lin Xian and was about to attack. However, at this moment, a large golden hand grabbed the 7-colored centipede. What? Chen Ku was stunned. Did he attack? How could he still attack? It shouldn't be. He was already crippled after being poisoned by his demon flower poison. Lin Xian opened his eyes and looked at the shocked Chen Ku in front of him. He looked at the struggling 7-colored centipede in his hand. The corners of his mouth lifted into a smile. Demon flower poison? It's powerful, but it can't do anything to me. Puff. Lin Xian exerted force in his palm, and directly crushed the seven-colored centipede, turning it into countless poisonous blood that scattered in all directions. No, damn it, Chen Ke screamed crazily. The seven-colored centipede also screamed. Its body reformed in the distance, but the light on its body dimmed a lot. Obviously, although this attack didn't kill it, it was severely injured. Come back. Chen Ke recalled the seven-colored centipede and put it back into his body. His heart was bleeding. The seven-colored centipede was already injured and would need dozens of years to recover. This time, it probably wouldn't be able to recover for at least 100 years. Damn, kid, I'm going to kill you. He went crazy. Two poisonous knives appeared in his hands, and he slashed forward crazily. Buzz. Lin Xian stood up and waved the fire Qilin sword, knocking away the two poisonous knives. He clenched his left hand into a fist, and like a golden crow, he punched Chen Ke and sent him flying. Damn it. How can you be so powerful? Have you recovered your strength? Chen Ke vomited blood, his face full of horror. Had the demon flower poison been neutralized? He couldn't believe it. No invincible king could neutralize the demon flower poison. Even a half-saint's strength would be greatly reduced if he accidentally inhaled it. But now, Chen Ke was completely fine. Could it be that Chen Ke had forcibly suppressed it? No. No one could forcibly suppress the demon flower poison. Buzz. Lin Xian struck out with annihilation, shattering Chen Ke's body and causing him to scream in fear. Stop, you've won this battle. He didn't dare to continue fighting. The seven-colored centipede was injured, and Chen Ke still had those two mysterious and terrifying powers. If he continued fighting, he would probably end up in a miserable state. Therefore, he quickly admitted defeat. We've lost. The people of the heavenly cloud mansion were stunned. That was Chen Ke, the Poison King. How terrifying was his strength. But now he had admitted defeat? They couldn't believe it. Xian Yun screamed crazily. No, Senior Brother Chen can't lose. You still have the strength to fight. He was going crazy. If Chen Ke admitted defeat, he would be the unluckiest one. He had to apologize to Chen Ke. Shut up. Chen Ke's face darkened. He turned his head and stared at Xian Yun. With a wave of his hand, countless poisonous insects turned into a huge hand and grabbed Xian Yun. I've said that I'll punish Xian Yun after you've won. Then, two rays of light burst out from his eyes and cut off Xian Yun's arms. Xian Yun screamed and rolled on the ground. His body was dyed red with blood, but he didn't dare to resist. Although he was a young genius, he was still too weak compared to Chen Ke. Moreover, he couldn't resist Chen Ke's poison at all. Hurry up and apologize, Chen Ke shouted coldly. Chapter 3072. Xian Yun was unwilling to do so, but when he saw Chen Ke's cold and twisted face, his heart raced. He did not dare to resist. Otherwise, Chen Ke's poison would be enough to kill him. Xian Yun's eyes turned red, and his body trembled as he gritted his teeth and roared. Sorry, I apologize for my previous provocation and arrogance. Hearing Xian Yun's apology, Qing Wu opened her mouth wide. Those from the outstanding warrior mansion were also shocked. Whoosh! They screamed excitedly. He apologized. Haha, he actually apologized. That's great. These people from the heavenly cloud mansion are still so arrogant. Get out. This is the territory of the outstanding warrior mansion. In the future, if you see anyone from the outstanding warrior mansion on the ancient star path, you'll have to take a detour. Do you understand? Otherwise, I'll beat you until you piss your pants. They were overjoyed. Originally, the heavenly cloud mansion was so arrogant, and they were helpless when they came to their territory. However, Lin Xian's appearance turned everything around. He even defeated the terrifying Poison King and made the arrogant Xian Yun apologize in public. Xian Yun even had his arms chopped off. This was definitely a great victory. Lin Xian nodded his head in satisfaction. He stared at Xian Yun and sneered. All right, get out of here. With your strength, it's impossible for you to do anything in the outstanding warrior mansion. Go back and cultivate for another 1,000 years. Kid, what's your name? Chunko asked coldly. My name is Lin Xian. If you have any tricks, feel free to come at me. Lin Xian waved his hand and did not care. All right, Lin Xian, right? I'll remember you. Let's go. Chunko's face was gloomy as he led the crowd away. Xian Yun stopped the bleeding and his whole body was twisted. Kid, I'll never let you off on the ancient star path. He took his broken arms and left quickly. Get out of here. Get out of the outstanding warrior mansion. The Sky Prides from the outstanding warrior mansion laughed proudly. Then they quickly came to Lin Xian's side, and they were all excited. Lin Gongzi, you're too cool. That's right, Brother Lin. That move of yours just now was too powerful. How did you cure the devil flowers poison? These people looked at Lin Xian excitedly. Previously, their idol was only the number one of the four peaks. But now there was one more, and that was Lin Xian. This time, Lin Xian could be said to have saved them and redeemed the reputation of the Prodigy Manor. Thank you so much for what you did. Qing Wu also had a rare blush on her small face as she thanked Lin Xian. Lin Xian glanced at her and said with a smile, A verbal thank you? Damn it, what else do you want? Qing Wu lightly snorted. Soon after, she remembered. Wait, don't go. Where's the promised 50 kilograms of cold iron starry cloud stone? In the distance, those who were leaving were stunned. Chunka's body stiffened, and he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Gritting his teeth, he tossed out a storage ring with an unsightly expression on his face. Qing Wu grabbed it in her hand. All right, I'll give you this cold iron nebula stone. This is good stuff. You're quite good at presenting Buddha with borrowed flowers. Lin Xian rubbed his nose. This should have been given to him in the first place. Humph. Who said so? I use myself as a wager. Of course, the things I won are mine. Now, I'm giving it to you to return the favor. Qing Wu said angrily. Thinking of this, she became angry. This hateful guy, he actually dared to use me as a wager without my consent. If it wasn't for the other party being so powerful, she would have beaten him up. However, Qing Wu was also very reluctant to give away 50 kilograms of cold iron starry cloud stone. Her beautiful big eyes stared straight at it. The others also swallowed their saliva. This was cold iron starry cloud stone, not to mention 50 kilograms. Even 500 kilograms could make an invincible king excited. After all, this was a material for refining a half-step saint tool. Lin Xian saw Qing Wu's reluctant look and felt funny. He said, I have no use for this thing. Why don't I trade with you? Take out whatever you have, and I'll trade with you. Really? You're willing to trade with me for cold iron starry cloud stone? After hearing this, Qing Wu exclaimed. This kind of Sister Han lucky stone was not only precious but also rare. Even if someone had it, they wouldn't take it out easily. This time, if the Poison King wasn't overconfident, he wouldn't have used it as a wager. She didn't expect that, in the end, it would benefit Lin Xian. And now Lin Xian actually took it out for a trade. Damn it, does this guy know how precious this thing is? Qing Wu rolled her eyes. The surrounding people also let out cries of surprise. That Lin Gongzi, can we also trade some? A few geniuses in the surroundings whispered. Their eyes were filled with anticipation. Lin Xian nodded. Sure, as long as you can take out something that satisfies me. Indeed, Lin Xian didn't really need it, although it was very precious. He had the blazing Qilin sword, which was enough for him. As for armor, he didn't need it at all. His 9-yang divine body was better than any armor, unless it was a sage's weapon. However, he couldn't use that kind of thing now. As for half-step sage artifacts, Lin Xian had 2 or 3 of them, which was enough. Moreover, he could use the great dragon sword soul to evolve all kinds of divine abilities. In addition, now that he had the plenilun seed, he could observe the great Tao of heaven and earth. When the time came, the power of the plenilun seed would definitely surpass that of a half-step sage artifact. It would be better to trade for some natural treasures or elixirs which would be more effective for him. Let me say this first, you don't need to give me weapons, cultivation techniques, or secret manuals. I don't need them for the time being. It would be best if you could give me some king herbs or special divine crystals. Of course, natural treasures for recovery and cultivation would be even better. I won't refuse any of them. I have 2 king herbs. How many can you give me? Qing Wu took out 2 king herbs in an instant. As soon as the 2 king herbs appeared, the spiritual energy in the surroundings instantly became rich. The eyes of the geniuses turned red. King herbs, these are good things. Lin Xian was surprised. He didn't expect this little girl to be so rich. She took out 2 king herbs in one go. He nodded. Okay, 1 king herb can be exchanged for 10 kilograms. 2 king herbs can be exchanged for 10 kilograms of frost iron starry cloud stone. Qing Wu thought for a moment and felt that the value was about the same. She said, I'll trade. Wait, I have something else. This is half a kilogram of mutated fire-type divine crystal. My brother got it from the outer realm. It's called the Starry Sky Flame Divine Crystal. I'll give you 10 kilograms of frost iron starry cloud stone. How about it? Mutated fire-type divine crystal. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. This thing would be of great help to him cultivating the 9 yang divine fire and comprehending fire-type techniques. He immediately nodded. Okay, what else do you have? He was looking forward to it. Qing Wu searched again, and then took out a jade bottle about half the size of a palm. Inside the jade bottle was bright red blood, a drop of the blood essence of an invincible peaked golden flame beast king, far surpassed all the blood of other invincible kings. I'll give you 10 kilograms. How about it? Chapter 3073. Lin Xian thought for a while, and then said, 10 caddies. Damn it, you're lucky. Qing Wu snorted. In the end, Qing Wu exchanged for 25 caddies, while Lin Xian put away 2 king herbs, a caddy of mutant fire elemental divine crystals, and half a bottle of invincible perfect beast king's blood essence. This little girl understood him quite well. She would always give him something to make him angry. Seeing that Qing Wu had finished exchanging, the others were tempted. They also began to take out treasures and prepared to exchange. However, at this moment, Zhong Linxiu's red lips opened slightly, a great way scripture of the sage's enlightenment. It was left behind by the ancient sage of the Tao Holy Land, recording the process of how he became a sage from an invincible king. As soon as these words came out, everyone exclaimed. Lin Xian's eyelids also twitched wildly. This was good stuff, but how could she be willing to take it out? As if sensing the fiery eyes of the people around and Lin Lingshuan's shock, Zhong Linxiu said lightly, It's not a complete book. It's an incomplete book, only up to the half-saint level. I'll give you the remaining 25 caddies. How about that? It turned out that it was only at the half-saint level. Many people breathed a sigh of relief. Lin Xian also came to a realization. No wonder she dared to take it out. However, even at the half-saint level, it was already very impressive. The Tao Holy Land was already very terrifying and mysterious. They were born with a special connection with the Tao. In such a holy land, the notes left behind by an ancient sage would definitely be of great benefit. It was too important for him to comprehend the great way of heaven and earth. Although it was only at the half-saint level, it was still extremely precious. Therefore, Lin Xian did not hesitate to give the remaining 25 caddies to Zhong Lingxiu. Zhong Lingxiu took out a scroll and handed it to Lin Xian. Lin Xian carefully put it away. The others around sighed. They did not expect the last 25 caddies to be taken by Zhong Lingxiu. However, there was no other way. The things she took out were good. The great way scripture of the sages' enlightenment was definitely priceless. Some people in the union were drooling. Lin Xian smiled at the crowd. Since the things had been distributed, he would take his leave. Let's work together next time. After saying that, his figure flashed and left. Qing Wu and Zhong Lingxiu accepted the cold iron meteorite with great satisfaction and left. The others had regretful looks on their faces. However, when they thought of the previous battle, it was as if they had been injected with chicken blood. They hurriedly spread the news. Yes, let everyone know that we won. In an instant, the crowd quickly spread out. Soon, all the Sky Prides in the outstanding warrior manor knew about this battle. Not only that, some of them even spread the news to the outer space. It could be said that it had caused quite a stir. This was also the first time Lin Xian's name had been heard on the ancient road of the stars. On the other side, Lin Xian returned to the courtyard. He raised his hand and set up the array formation. Then he took out the Great Path Enlightenment Sutra excitedly. The Crimson Dragon also came out. It looked at the Great Tao Insight Sutra and drooled. This was really good stuff. He did not expect Zhong Lingxiu, this girl, to be willing to take it out. Let me see if the Tao One Holy Ground is as mysterious as the rumors say. Lin Xian opened the scroll and studied it with the Crimson Dragon. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. 5 days later, Lin Xian sighed. He had to admit that this was an incomparably precious enlightenment. Many things that he did not understand before were now enlightened. Indeed, this Great Tao Insight Sutra recorded the growth experience and enlightenment of a saint. It was incomparably precious to a cultivator. Lin Xian was very lucky to be able to obtain it. He guessed that Zhong Lingxiu should be in great need of that metal to refine a kind of treasure. Otherwise, she would not have taken it out. The Great Tao Insight Sutra was not a cultivation technique, nor was it a secret manual. It was a record of a kind of enlightenment. This kind of enlightenment could allow Lin Xian to better understand the great Tao of heaven and earth. When Lin Xian used the Tianji divine eye and plenilency to observe the great Tao of heaven and earth again, he was even more enlightened than before. Of course, he knew that observing the great Tao of heaven and earth was a very long and lifelong thing. Lin Xian did not intend to achieve it overnight. The competition between the 4 great winds was getting closer and closer. Lin Xian decided to comprehend and improve the 2 types of power he had just comprehended, which were close to the Tao. Next, Lin Xian began to cultivate in seclusion. This time, even if the outside world spread rumors, he would not hear it. He sat cross-legged in the courtyard. Under his feet was a spirit-gathering array, which was set up by Crimson Shinnom. Around the spirit-gathering array were treasures of heaven and earth, king herbs, and mutated fire elemental divine crystals. These things were placed in the spirit-gathering array. Through the changes of the spirit-gathering array, they provided Lin Xian with energy. Lin Xian cultivated. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was comprehending the scripture of enlightenment while cultivating his 2 new powers. In the blink of an eye, another 2 months had passed. There was still a month before the final competition. In the past 2 months, the extraordinary warrior mansion could be said to be quite excited. The news that Lin Xian had defeated the Heavenly Clouds Mansion and defeated the Poison King had completely spread. At first, everyone was shocked and couldn't believe it, thinking that it was fake news. Later, they were sure, surprised, and excited. It could be said that they experienced a very complicated mood. Everyone knew that Lin Xian was incredible. He was definitely a prodigy and a dark horse. His strength had improved compared to before. It seemed that he would definitely be able to shine in this competition. In the extraordinary warrior mansion, where would he rank? It was hard to say. He probably wouldn't be able to enter the top 5. Yes, he ranked second in the Full Moon Peak, and Huangfu Beitian, who ranked first, only ranked 5th in the extraordinary warrior mansion. That was indeed the case. The Full Moon Peak was at the bottom. Even Huangfu Beitian, who ranked first, couldn't enter the top 4. Although Lin Xian was strong, he was still a little worse than Huangfu Beitian. He might be able to rank in the top 10. That's right. Last time, He Mo seemed to be ranked 9th. He defeated He Mo, so his strength should be 6th or 7th. But it would be difficult to get to the top. The people of the Full Moon Peak side. That's right. He Mo was so strong, but he was only ranked 9th in the extraordinary warrior mansion. Huangfu Beitian, who ranked first, was only ranked 5th. Therefore, even though Lin Xian had displayed great strength and talent, he was still a genius. He even obtained the Full Moon Wordless Steel, but it was only a few months after all. It was not enough for Lin Xian's strength to change dramatically. So this time, in everyone's opinion, Lin Xian would only be in the top 10. It was basically impossible for him to get into the top 5. With the appearance of those geniuses who were in seclusion, a new round of storm came. What? Jun Wia had another breakthrough in comprehending the ethereal steel. Many people exclaimed. Jun Wia ranked second in the Misty Peak and 4th in the extraordinary warrior mansion. His strength was above Huangfu Beitian. This time, the other party had made new progress in comprehending the Misty Sky steel. It was likely that his strength would undergo an earth-shattering change. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.